place to be, wrestling fans. Welcome back to night number 2 of the 2022. Sorry, I don't think I have enough. I don't think my voice holds the enough gravitas to announce what show we're watching today. I feel I should hand it over to the voice of the £10 of Gold preview show to announce what show we're watching tonight. Scott Criscolo, the Podfather, what show are we watching for the people tonight?
The 2022 Crockett Cup.
Scott, are we there? We're not there. Can't hear the Podfather. Anyway, good start to the show. Hopefully, this is not how we're starting to go. And it is night 2 of the Crockett Cup. We will be joined by Scott and Dr. G and Sean a bit later on. And thank you to Ben, who was available last night for us. Ben stepped in to cover the show in Scott and Dr. G's absence. Did a hell of a job. And as a first time NWA watcher, I think he did. He seemed to have a great time. Which is just it shows you how the Ben has been slightly jaded by current day wrestling from the big company, shall we say, from the WWE, but is always open to alternatives, and hope that the NWA will become a permanent alternative for Ben going forward. So we're just coming up to the start of the show. Recap of what happened last night. Where we had a hell of a first round and a second round as well. Few surprises. If you watched along with us last night, some of us were a bit surprised at how the tournament went. I'm just going to get the bracket back up. It started off hot last night on the show. The end were the first team out that we saw.
Can anybody hear me?
And me personally thought that the end was going to be one of the could have gone quite far in the tournament. We were shocked to see that wasn't the case. So we had the Bad News Boys. They won the play-in game to go on to face the Briscoe brothers. Sorry, not the Briscoe brothers later on. Larabelli on later on. Hawks Airy took the spoils in the opening match against the End, which was a big shock. The Cardonas beat Mims and the Pope. The Dirty Sexy Boys beat Aaron Stevens and the Blue Meanie was a surprise for us to show up. Excuse me, I'm looking at the chat. I see that there may well be something wrong here. 2 seconds.
What I think, if you all can hear me, I don't know if Callum can hear me.
I can hear you now, Podfather. I can hear you now.
Kettleman, I guess I got to pay the bill, huh?
Technical issues are running wild on the on night 2 of the Crockett Cup Twitch stream. I hope this isn't a sign of things to come. I really do.
Well, it does fit that the clock has struck 8 o'clock Eastern time, and you can hear me now. I might have planned it that way. I might have planned it that way. So let me do for you what you wanted me to do a minute ago. Ready?
Yes, please.
The 2022 Crockett Cup.
There we go. That is.
Right.
There we go. As heard on £10 of gold this past week.
Kettleman, it's an honor, privilege to be with you. I did watch night one a little while ago, and listen to you and Sean and Ben Locke, who made a nice surprise run in. Better surprise than the Blue Meanie, apparently. But
Yes.
but great job last night, guys. Great job. Got a lot of comments and a lot of views and a lot of listens. And second night in a row, we get the Scott Hall cap, of which means a lot, of course. As we get started tonight, Callum, I'm not on mute. Oh, let me mute that there. I'll give you my comments on how I thought night one would go. The Dr. G, Georgia Bellino, will be joining us in a little bit. He actually took his daughter back to college today. She was on spring break, so he will be joining us in a little bit, as will, of course, Sean Kidd. Ben's in the chats, everyone, so go and talk to him, and he'll get the chat going, and come talk to us as we begin night two. Callum did a lot of talking last night, so I'll try and help you out, buddy, because no one can stop me from talking. So, so my thoughts on night one as we get the start cap. Ooh, look at that! Wow, that guy's old. I feel like it looks like kind of a bigger crowd than last night. I feel like there's definitely more people there tonight than there was there last night.
Yeah,
we have our.
I thought that I thought at points last night the crowd looked a bit smaller than I'd thought, but apparently it was a sellout last night. But I think that people might have been away. You buy the 2 nights. A lot of tag team tournament would have happened on the first night.
Yep.
And then because it was just, I was surprised that it was just all tag. I thought we might have got one of the title matches last night, but it wasn't to be. But no, hot crowd again tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. The night one had its moments as we run down tonight's card. Of course, the feud that has been brewing for months between Anthony Mayweather and Jack Stane will continue tonight with the National Heavyweight Championship on the line. Yeah, there's no doubt that some of those tag finishes, as we're, again, looking at our card, some of our tag results last night were a little suspect. I am clearly befuddled at why Strictly Business lost. I don't understand. First off, they painted them, and Billy does this all the time. He paints himself into all these heel matches on all of these like tourneys, and Dr. G and I go crazy when we're recapping Power on the Saturday special. Why he paints himself into these heel things, and then he picks the wrong heels to win. I get that Idolmania Sports Management is like the big faction right now, but there is no doubt that Tom Latimer and Chris Adonis needed to win that match, and I don't understand why they didn't. I don't. Makes no sense. No sense at all.
No, especially when the potential quarter-final match would have been Doug Williams and Harry Smith, because Doug Williams was originally brought in to be Aldis's tag partner against Strictly Business after he get kicked out. So you've got the built-in story there already, and then unless that was Billy's way of not trying to sort of outsmart what we thought was the logical or booking there. Ben's quite right in the chat. He said that the way that they laid it out last night was the appetizer for tonight. So it was almost as if last night was like a 3-hour pre-show for or
not a bad point.
Yeah, a slightly more prestigious pre-show for tonight.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like we're going to open with one of our semifinal matches, which will be the Cardonas taking on the La Rebellion, who, by the way, two things about La Rebellion, and again on the Saturday special, Dr. G and I say nothing but great things. They are unquestionably the alpha dogs of the tag division. They act like it. They show it. They are the badasses in the tag division, and they showed it last night. Winning all their matches. I mean, dissecting, taking apart poor little AJ Hawks in that poor handicap match. Those guys were absolute badasses last night. And yes, to piggyback what Sean was saying, I was all in on the Tully and Arn World Tag Team Championship belts. However, and I think Dr. G might agree with me, I think I need blue leather.
Oh,
I think I need the blue leather.
I think that they're almost incomplete as long as whilst they've got the black leather, they do need to have the blue strap on them.
So our first match of the evening, the semifinal of the tournament between the Briscoe brothers, the current ROH World Tag Team Champions, if that even matters, and the Cardonas. And I'm just going to say what I wanted to say last night if I was on the show, if I was on the feed. The Briscoes, in my opinion, now I'm sure they would come to this tournament, take the check and, do business with any great tag team in this tournament. This team is not one of them.
No.
So they could say anybody could say what they want. I seriously doubt that the Briscoes would take a check, show up to this tournament as a 2 seed, and lose to these two fucking scrubs. It's just not happening. Any other team in this tournament, if they face Strictly Business, or if they faced Mims and the Pope, or they faced the Dirty Sexy Boys, maybe. Not these guys. I get, and I understand Callum's concern, and I may be a little concerned as well. Not Callum, I'm sorry. Sean's concerned, Callum, about, making this a Cardona-esque themed pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it here. Not in this case. We did talk about it on the Saturday special preview show, which you heard yesterday on the here on Twitch before the commentary popped up. I could very easily see Chelsea Green winning the World Women's title tonight. I don't think there's any doubt. I cannot see these two guys beating the Briscoes. I just don't. But as I agree with Ben, I am stoked to watch La Rebellion and the British Invasion beat the shit out of each other later.
Well,
that is going to be fantastic.
Oh, it will be. It will be.
I mean, that is going to be they're probably talking back right now going, listen, guys, let's get a couple moves here and there, but let's just go in there and just play let's get a little snug. Let's get a little comfy together. Because I think they're just going to lay into each other because they can, and they know it'll make for a great match. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for this whole night. There is a lot of mystery tonight, and I feel like in a lot of our past pay-per-view outings, Callum, we don't see a ton of surprises that actually work in our favor. I'm not pissed about the Blue Meanie. If they weren't meant to win the match, then who cares? You know what I mean? It's all right. Whatever. It's not the end of the world. I'm curious why Kratos was not there. I've been thinking about it. I was thinking about it this afternoon while I was watching last night's part. And I'm thinking that maybe, because remember, he not only is working for NWA, but he also was doing stuff for that New Japan dojo in LA, which is why we haven't seen Fred Rosser in a while.
Mm. So
I'm wondering if he just took the check and kind of bolted. That's my take. That's what I'm thinking. You know?
Yeah. Well, for anyone who was, you might have heard my thoughts on it last night, Scott. If you've listened back to the,
I did.
To the thing.
I did.
Sean. Sean is actually watching us over on Facebook. He's saying that Kratos is a New Japan show tonight. Because,
it makes sense.
Yeah, because
right.
Stevens.
Okay.
Yeah, because Stevens did say that he had some travel issues. but I find it a bit strange that there was Kratos that missed last night. You obviously had Cardona not shown up, and they've moved the Aldis match to tonight. I find it a bit strange that there's a lot of guys who are, and they've maybe been, Billy might have been a bit lenient towards it because it's a 2-night event. But I found it a bit strange that Cardona doesn't show up. He's the world heavyweight champion and doesn't show up, and basically makes Billy change the night that he's defending the title on it. I found that a bit strange. I wouldn't go.
I do too.
I wouldn't go as far as saying it was disrespectful, but I do find that if you're the world heavyweight champion of a company, another company, especially on this sort of level, because NWA and Impact are not too far away in terms of size, and on the big six, as you guys call it, on the main event. I don't feel that Impact are of that great importance in the current wrestling landscape that you would choose Impact over the NWA, especially if you're the NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, I agree. That's a great point. I don't have any issues with Mike Knox either. I think he's a fine. I think they wanted to, give these guys something to get on your nerves. That's what good heels do, is to put over your heat. But I just some of the decisions last night, I get that we're trying to put Idlemania Sports Management over. They are the big stud heel faction, but I just don't understand how they beat Strictly Business and why you would put them together. That's a nice move. But this is going a little too far, because I don't see. You got to be careful with a guy like Matt Cardona because, yeah, he's the NWA World's Champion, but if WWE or AEW gives this guy 7 figures, he don't give a shit about this. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful with guys like that when you're in a promotion of this magnitude, that, you don't put too many of your eggs in a basket, or you're going to get what happened with Stan Hansen in the AWA title in '86 when he ran over it with a friggin' truck. So, I that's what I'm thinking,
Yeah, and they're going very all in on the whole Cardona thing, because you've got Knox and VSK in the tournament. Chelsea Green is now becoming prominent, has been shoehorned into the women's title match. I don't think this is the time to take. I genuinely don't think this is the time to take the belt off Camille. And if they're going to go down the route of putting it on Chelsea Green, then I feel that there is this is a reign of terror. The Cardona reign of terror in the NWA is worse than anything Triple H did in 2002, and I will not be convinced otherwise.
I will say this though, and I said, I said this name on our preview show yesterday. Natalia Markova. Just saying.
Yeah, they seem to be building.
Just saying.
Yeah, they do seem to be building towards that. And one thing that we've been critical of on previous pay-per-views is that the pay-per-view, by the time they get to the pay-per-view, they seem to have just been throwing matches together and not based on. They've not had any real build. They've had sort of mini feuds that happen on Power. They don't always seem to get blown off at a pay-per-view. They seem to be building towards a Camille Markova showdown at some point.
And that's a feud that kind of started on NWA USA, not even on Power, which is like the SmackDown. But this has been actually pretty good opener. And I don't think we've ever doubted that VSK or whoever this guy is and Mike Knox are not bad wrestlers in the general sense. But those two against the winner of the other match in the finals would bring nothing to this. Would bring nothing.
No.
On a side note, and when he comes on in a couple minutes, I want his thoughts too, because the doctor and I have said often on the Saturday special that Billy needs to do a better job of kind of pumping these. Here we go. Good night. See you later, kiddo. You're cooked. Uh-oh. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
And we are off to the finals, baby. The Briscoes move on with the Doomsday fucking device. I wish Dr. G had seen that. But like I'm seeing here that the we have this nice, they've really prettied up the fairgrounds. It doesn't look like a big toilet like it did in 2003 when we're doing the our recaps on the main event. I like the screen. We have like a moderate ramps aisle thing. It finally looks like they've made this thing like a legit, like little by little, Billy's starting to get that aesthetic of what to make a real pay-per-view look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm happy the way it looks tonight.
Yes, it's certainly because after the anniversary weekend and the anniversary weekend in St. Louis, it was a bit of a disappointment to come back down to, back down a level to what to the GBP studios for Hard Times. I do think that they would probably need to. They would need to. If they're going to do a pay-per-view every 2 to 3 months, I think aesthetically it would be nice to see a different venue, just to give a change of look. Ben said in the chat, and we found it quite funny that Ben knew where they were doing it from, purely based on the fact that he recognised the roof from watching TNA watching all those TNA Asylum pay-per-views.
Yes. Yep. I agree with that.
And a very intriguing prediction from Ben as well.
Oh, we're doing this now? Oh, this is amazing. Oh, give it to me right now.
Good timing for me to get in.
Oh, there you go, Sean. Again, Sean has just turned up both nights, perfectly timed for one of his tag favorites.
It wasn't planned. I will tell here's the thing though. So one, I'm glad the Briscoes won because you heard me last night. I wasn't feeling the whole Cardonas thing. So that was good.
You just missed my rant. You just missed my rant on it, Shawnee. So
no, I heard it. So I'm glad I was. So I'm glad the Briscoes won. Now I'm a little torn because this match should be a banger, and I won't mind either one of these guys facing the Briscoes, but I want this team. And by the way, they have named these guys the Commonwealth Connection. That is their tag team name. So
that is amazing.
So do they go the route of Briscoes versus La Rebellion, or do they go the route of the Commonwealth Connection? This is interesting. So
I think
look at all that gold. Look at all that. That is luscious. I did say, Shawnee, though, I need the blue leather.
Yeah, we said that last night.
I do need the blue straps.
So what I didn't hear last night that I heard tonight on the rewatch is those tag team belts, the Tully and Arm belts. David Crockett actually brought those with him to this show. So those are original belts.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Sean, before at the beginning of the show, just like at the beginning of the show last night, they had the Scott Hall, tribute cap. I didn't see a Lance Cade tribute cap. Now, did I?
Oh, well, I guess you might have heard that. I guess you might have heard listen, everyone's allowed a little slip here and there, Scott.
All right, I did chuckle, though. I
don't know how you could.
He did pass away 15 years ago, so not like he passed away 15 years ago, not 15 minutes ago. So it's okay. It's not too bad.
I'm glad you actually heard it. That makes me laugh. That's all.
He died 15 years ago. The statute of limitations has long since expired.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's
I
awesome.
just want to see these four guys beat the fucking shit out of each other. Just play it. Just wrestle this as snug as possible. Just lay in.
My
No
favorite match
missed-
last night was the main event. I got to tell you that Clearwater and Rocket match against the Commonwealth Connection, I thought was really great. I thought that was the best match of the night for me last night. So
I enjoyed. I gotta say, I enjoyed the Briscoes, and the quarterfinal. Briscoes and
the Dirty Sexy, whatever.
the Dirty Sexy Boys. I thought that
Yeah.
actually was a pretty good match. I thought that was a good match.
Yeah.
I don't understand, and I agree with you on one thing, Shawnee. You said last night. You know, Billy, I understand that you got to dress weird and you got the hand thing and all that shit, but can you wear your own stuff for Christ's sakes? I know the store only has like 7 T-shirts, but could you wear one of them? I mean, come on.
It's smile once in a while and act like you're engaged in your product. You know, it's just I don't know. He's weird.
I know. It's this isn't a video for the Siamese Dream album. All right, come on. Let's get going here. But now I like the tape on because Dougie last night was kind of favoring his shoulder in that last match in one of their wins. So I noticed he has the tape on. I have a feeling. We're going to see Lauder Bellion win this match, but I think like Doug's just going to get that shoulder just beat on.
Yeah.
That's what I think here. And I agree with you, Sean, also that Baby Bulldog's looking like the old man, like that 96 build with kind of like the wobbly legs and that the trimmer, like, upper body. He pretty much looks like his dad from like 95 on,
He does.
I would have done with the tassels on the. It's kind of like half 95 tights and the 86 boots. That's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
But good call by Ben though in the chat about the roof talons, the roof tiles. I agree with that.
Yes. Yep.
But Ben has also made a very spicy prediction for the finals. Anyone that's watching wasn't around for last night, Ben is thinking certainly now that it's probably more likely now that the Briscoes are in the final. He thinks we might see a bit of FTR.
He's with us right now, I believe.
Ben seems to think that there is a potential for an FTR sighting to confront, possibly cost the Briscoes in the final, which I personally, for lack of a better term, lose my shit if that happens. But Lara Bellion.
No, looks like the leg. Looks like they're going on the Bulldog's leg. He hurt the leg last night too. So
Lara Bellion, I don't think I'm out of place in saying if you could take any of the tag team champions in any of the major companies just now, they do not look out of place at all. They are up there with any of the best tag teams in the world just now.
you know what else is? So I know we were talking about last night and earlier tonight. You guys were talking about how your world champion didn't show up, and then the Taven and Bennett showed up tonight. They weren't there last night either, and that's because obviously they're at the Impact tapings. What's interesting is, as you know, Colin, doing April of '86, then they Crockett Roll, as I do research. The tournament they did there was they did it in one day, an afternoon session and a night session, right? So what's interesting is, did you know, and I just discovered this on the research, the day after the Crockett Cup was Wrestle Rock '86 for the AWA.
Oh, really? After. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So,
I didn't know
you want to go back? Well, I did that. I found that out in the research. So what's interesting is the night after Wrestle Rock, the Road Warriors faced the Freebirds in a cage. Yep. So they went straight from winning. They went to the Freebirds. Let's see who else was on there. Wahoo McDaniel was there after the night after the Crockett Cup. The Fabulous Ones were also there because they took on Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo. So what was really amazing to me about the '86 Crockett Cup is the amount of teams they could have used that they didn't. They could have used Windham and Rotunda. They could have used Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig were there. The Freebirds, like there's a whole bunch of talent they could have used in that they didn't. That the very next night they were at the AWA. It's really crazy.
Yeah. And Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig were the tag team champions in AWA.
Yes.
So they were a damn good team anyway.
And by the way,
was that Wrestle Rock the one, Shawnee, was that, or maybe that was 87, the one where Hayes and I don't know if it was Gordy or Roberts, which was had the Confederate paint. Was that show?
No,
right?
I think that was another show.
I think that was one of the Comiskey shows. Yeah.
It was. But the other thing that was fascinating about it was the Rockers were there that night against Summers and Rose. So again, think about if they could have got the Rockers, Barry Windham, and think about the teams they could have had in that Crockett Cup. That would have been freaking probably an all-time thing if they had got them people. That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
So
no, absolutely.
I think the Confederate face paint on Hayes was on the Comiskey show from late, like the big NWA, the big Crockett one that we watched, Sean, with the gentleman who has just joined the call, the flunky to the Podfathers junkie on the NWA Saturday special, Dr. G has joined the call.
Hey, good evening, guys. Good evening. How's everyone doing?
Well, you sound like you're in the Nashville Fairgrounds. Yeah, he sounds like he's at the Nashville Fairgrounds. At least when I'm hearing the Nashville Fairgrounds toilet flush. So I think we're good on that.
I can make that happen. Don't worry about it.
It's Scott. It's a community urinal. It's a community urinal.
That is, They're pissing in a giant tub, most likely.
I got my popcorn ready here, though. That's for sure.
There you go. Throw them at Tim Storm's head. So, Doctor, to open the show, the Briscoes defeated the Cardonas. So the Briscoes are in the final. Of course they did. Now we're watching this absolute banger of four guys that are just going to snuggle, beat the snot out of each other.
I've been watching this for a few minutes. It's a pretty good match. Let me tell you something. I really do like Harry Smith. I think I'd love to see him stick around the NWA.
Do you think he looks like his dad?
He does.
In some ways.
We've
been talking about it. These guys talked about it last night. We were talking about it a few minutes ago. He's got like I was saying, he's got like his dad's 90, not really the early 90s build when he was still kind of, bloated and juiced, but kind of like the 95, like new generation build, but with the 86 boots because he doesn't have any trims. But what do you think, Doctor, of David Crockett handing over the Tully Yarn belts to La Rebellion? Those are those are the belts you and I have wanted. I just wish David was able to find the blue ones, but they probably got, run over by Dusty's Cadillac or something. Is he gonna? Oh shit! I don't know what was that.
I don't know, but this. Oh my god! Oh god!
Wow! I don't know what the hell that was, but he almost got wrecked.
They killed PJ Hawks twice for that last night.
They have botched that. Like that's like the third time they botched that move, right, Colin?
Yeah, they did it a couple of times to poor PJ last night, and I don't think they hit it right once. Oh, what's this? Oh no! Please don't watch this.
It still looked pretty brutal though.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell. That was crazy.
But what are we doing? What are we doing here?
La Rebellion has been an amazing. I'm trying to think. You guys were asking last night. I think they beat Stevens and Kratos at NWA 73.
Yep,
right? I don't think they beat him at When Our Shadows Fall, right? Okay, so they've had him since August.
Yep.
That's nice. Oh, is that in the match? Oh, wow.
No way.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, God, I'm so happy.
Wow.
I told you. I'm telling you, they're taking it. They're beating the Briscoes tonight. They're taking it.
I think I got to be honest with you, Shawnee. I might have to agree with you. I'm
not gloating if they do, though. I called it from the start. So I'm not gloating, but I called it from the start if they win.
No, you did. You did. I will give you that. But wow. Well, like I said to G on the special this week, the tag team champions don't have to. I mean, they never did in the past, right, Sean? Tag team champions never won the Crockett Cup tournament. So
it doesn't make sense for them to win because one of the things that you win in this tournament was you get a title shot and you get the cup. So for that La Rebellion to win kind of seemed kind of counterproductive. So it makes sense. They lost. Exactly. That's I think their first loss since they've been here. By the way, I don't think they've lost
agree.
a match yet.
Oh my God,
So-
that final match later tonight is going to be such a banger, such a banger, because you're going to have another two teams that don't have a problem wrestling a little snug. So, so there you go, guys. What do they call it? The Commonwealth? What? The Commonwealth Connection?
Commonwealth Connection. Yeah.
I don't know, Callum. I think I could see that on a track jacket. What do you think?
I mean, if they put it on a track jacket, I'm not going to turn it down.
So there we go. So we look forward to that little match later on. What do we got next here? What do we got next? If Cyan walks out, I'm turning it. If Cyan walks out, I'm turning it off. All right, the Pope.
I will tell you on the pre-show, Cyan actually had a pretty good run in the match that he was in. I was shocked, very shocked.
Of course, last night the Pope and Mims lost, which broke my heart. But I'm telling you, Sean, at some point in 2022, Mims will be the next World Television Champion. I'm telling you, between now and I'll say December when Hard Times 3 happens, no doubt Mims will be the next television champion. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
He should be. Mims should, but they got to quit jobbing him out. Actually, he won a pre-show match tonight, so he did win earlier tonight too. So.
All right, good. But I don't know what Billy's trying to do. I understand keeping guys hot, but eventually got to start making sense with some of these baby faces winning. I mean, you got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Keep the right guys hot though. Like Mims is a slam dunk. Why would you not? And like even the end is a fantastic team. They job every single time. It's like you said earlier tonight. It's like, why do we continuously have these folks that they should be going all in on do the job? It just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Strictly business. I mean, unbelievable.
What is going on? What is going on there? I mean, is Tom Latimer like in the doghouse? Like, what the hell is going on? I don't understand why they think all these losses is going to do anything for him at any. I don't care about Chris Adonis. I really don't care. But what are all these losses going to do for for Tom Latimer somewhere down the line? I don't get it. Is he going to snap?
Not a damn thing.
I don't understand.
Not a damn thing. Not a thing. I mean, where does he go? He already lost the I Quit match to Aldis, and it was supposed to be some kind of blood feud, but it wasn't because Latimer lost anything he was ever in against them. So
exactly.
Anyway,
exactly. We got a Pope promo here. Anything good, Callum? Usually our audio guy. Anything juicy here?
I've not really heard anything that's.
But we have to remember, guys.
I would have thought he would have come out and said, "I want the winner of tonight's main event" or something like that.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, because you took the words right out of my mouth, brother. Because we have to take into account that Pope and also Jax Dane. I don't know if this match with Mayweather counts as his title shot from winning that team thing. But Pope still has his. So.
So would it be a good night for Pope to cash in? So let's say Cardona wins, but Aldis beats the shit out of him, and Pope comes in and slides it and win the title. You think that's a good move to do or no?
I would.
Doctor, what do you think?
I would like it. I think it would be something different, but I don't see Billy doing that.
Yeah, I feel like, Sean, that. And I mentioned this on the show this weekend because I talked about the end of the tournament. I have a feeling that we need to see the long game for if there is a Cardona Pope program in the works. I feel like that has to be a long game thing through the next couple of pay-per-views, because as mentioned, we're going to have a pay-per-view in early June, and which hopefully is not called When Our Shadows Fall 2, because that would be terrible. And cause, I mean that was just awful, and then lead into kind of like we had last year when Our Shadows Fall, when Nick and Trevor ended in that fucking shit fest, and then we had the burn all the way to NWA 73. I feel like we may have that again this year, because I feel like the Pope has been here long enough. I think it's time for him to be the man. I appreciate, obviously, Trevor's, little retirement thing or whatever, the Harley tribute victory, but that's done. It's time to start focusing on guys that are going to be here a while and work hard and be the face of this promotion for the next couple of years. And the Pope is that guy. He's not old. He's not young, but he's not Trevor. He doesn't look like goo. You know what I mean? So, So, now we have our national heavyweight championship match. I kind of like Anthony Mayweather with a belt on. He looks good.
I do. I think he looks good as national champion.
I agree 100%.
And you know what else is funny? This is probably, for me, this has been a very well-built feud. Probably one of the better ones that they've managed to book in between their 4 months of tapings. I feel like they've done a good job with this one.
Ben made a good point in the chat. Ben said the Briscoes win the cup, so they get a title shot. But then Dougie and Baby Bulldog can say, well, we actually pinned the World Tag Team Champions. Mm-hmm. So there's something you can hang your hat on creatively if Billy doesn't, have them job out to Black G's and, I don't know, Sal Renaro or something. Then but that's something you can hang your hat on to keep the tag division going. Depends how long the Briscoes go. Remember, ROH has no talent. Remember, all the contracts were zeroed out. So Tony Khan just bought pretty much graphics equipment and a library. He's still got the Briscoes versus FTR happening in Dallas at this point. Yeah.
So,
yep. Yeah. Does have that.
And Grisham versus. Yeah. So he does have a couple matches going, but we were saying last night, he did an interview where he's like, oh, well, this is just kind of, we're going to reset after this pay-per-view, which that pay-per-view was supposed to be the reset. So who knows? They could just put a bunch of talent in there just to have a good show. That's probably what they'll do. So.
Ooh, and look at this. Wow. Good fast start.
Yep. And Dane's jacket's awesome, by the way.
It is. It is very nice. Gee, it kind of looks like the fleece your daughter was wearing earlier today. Maybe she should. Maybe when she starts, pushing around some of those weaker freshmen, she could, wear the glasses and cut the sleeves off her fleece. This looks just like the one she wore earlier. I'm glad Crimson. Now there's a storyline that's had some legs. Nick Aldis pretty much did the come to Jesus promo with him on NWA USA, saying, dude, you got to finish, man. And he did. He did at Power Trip. So
Dame, he looks great. Crimson. I have to keep calling him Crimson. I can't help it, but
I know.
He's a great shape. Whereas Dane looks like he's been hitting the Tyrus diet a little bit there on the midsection.
Yes, I have noticed that. Yes, the Tyrus diet.
Crimson's certainly come a long way since he was meant to be the Amazing Red's brother.
Yes, yeah, he sure has. Sure has.
But they've had this blood feud between Mayweather and Dane going for, well, that started back at NWA 73 as well. But they've done this one really well, and they have completely botched Aldis and Latimer.
Well, that's where I was going to go with it. Is Aldis and Latimer should have been so great. I feel like this was what this feud right here is what that should have been.
Mm-hmm. It almost seems as if, like, I don't understand how they could do one so well and one so poorly.
Like, I'm trying to figure. I mean, guys, honestly, I'm trying to figure out, what is happening. Why we have where they're going with this Latimer and Aldis. I feel like, yeah, all right, Latimer turned on and beat the hell out of him, and then has looked like a complete doofus from this point forward. And then on the other side of the coin, this feud, which seemed very organic, and then you had that weird JTG thing with Dane, and that kind of precipitated the heel turn. But then now JTG is a babyface with the Dirty Dango. Regardless of that point, they really kept the heat on this feud, but they did nothing with Tom Latimer. He just keeps eating loss after eating loss. All right, he won that team thing, but he just keeps eating one loss after eating a loss after eating a loss. And and it makes no sense. That did not look flush.
No, that did not look good.
And that's
well, we knew this match was going to be they were going to go at each other.
Yeah, I know, but that did not look like the intended purpose.
Yeah, and of course they have the Bill Watts rules tonight, and no padding on the cement. So, so they're going. So that definitely did not probably feel very good going down.
By the way, this has been, but you also remember, and he's gone. He's not here anymore. But Jack Stain with the Slice Boogie stuff, that kind of started it with way back when he was doing that whole thing with Slice Boogie, and
that's what it was. It wasn't JTG.
Yeah, it was Slice
Boogie, not JTG. Yes, Slice Boogie, who I miss. Where did he go? Do we know where he went?
He went to MLW. He's the tag team champions over there with maybe not anymore. What's the other guy? Danny Limelight, was that the other one that we talked about? Yeah. So I think they were the tag team champions over there, like the new LAX or something, some crap like that.
Oh, okay. Probably he got more than he did here. That's for sure.
Yes. Yep.
You know what I'm noticing, guys, with the NWA, it's almost somewhat of a feeder system, because you see some of these guys we really get into, and then all of a sudden we see them showing up in maybe a company that's a little bit bigger. I would say MLW may be a little bigger than NWA. Obviously, NWA name is bigger, but in terms of the actual company, and then either Ring of Honor or some have gone to AEW, so. It's tough because you get into it, and then you have some of the other guys like Nick Aldis. We know he's going to probably stay, which is nice. Jack Stain here. I think he'll, and Mayweather. They'll probably stay because they run their own company. So it's hard because certain guys you get into, like you said. I didn't even realize Slice Boogie went to MLW.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, with going back to the tapings, when you're doing these tapings and you do them so much in advance. If a guy leaves or something happens, we remember this as a kid with the WWF when they used to do like 4 shows or 4 weeks of shows at one time. That sometimes if something happens, you have to kind of find a way to pivot and change the course, which is right. Which today it's so hard because the information gets out there so fast. Mm-hmm. It's hard to do.
I don't understand where the fiscal. Jack Stain, by the way, working on Mayweather's leg after that plancha thing did not end well. But I definitely think that that bringing up, having these guys come up and we get a good few months out of them. And I mean, I understand that, but a guy like Nick Aldis, who probably, I don't want to say he's got a piece of the company, but he obviously has a lot invested, or he could have gone anywhere. He's probably got something invested. Somebody like Pope, some of those hardcore guys that have been here since 2017 when Lightning One first started and Billy got everything out of the gate. You have that hardcore group of like 15, 20 guys and gals, and then the rest kind of go back and forth. Like you guys mentioned last night, you got Kenzie Page tonight in the tag title match with the Hex. And she's been on AEW picking a fight with somebody. It was a Thunder Rosa, or she was picking a fight with somebody on a Dynamite or Rampage. Mm-hmm. So, and that's okay, but I think that's where the stability thing, like Billy needs to start figuring out the guys that he's going to keep around there. Like you got to be nervous about keeping Matt Cardona NWA champion because somebody's going to give him money, And you don't want him, but I don't think Matt Cardona is the kind of guy that would pull a Stan Hansen and run the belt over with a truck. But that's a tough spot Billy's in. That he's got to, there's guys on this roster that he's got to trust and that are going to stick around and that kind of thing. So,
well, guys, you got to realize maybe now because AEW bought Ring of Honor, so he could sign some maybe mid-level or lower-level guys to hang around that company. AEW could only sign so much. And Cardona, he's already been there, done that with WWE. Maybe because he changed his image a little bit more. Maybe he could be signed back there, but I doubt it. Mm-hmm. So there's only so many places to go. So right now, indies are getting hot back. Things are starting to get back to normal again. So now there's going to be a lot of indie shows. These guys are going to work a lot of these shows so they can make some money, as well as to supplement their NWA pay.
Well, I think Cardona's. Listen, I think Cardona. I mean, if you think about it, he's really big in GCW right now. He's big in Impact. He's been a champion in both. He's a current champion in Impact now. He holds their digital media championship, whatever the fuck that is. But he's also the world champion here. But he holds like 6 different titles in all these different independent leagues. But his primaries are GCW, NWA, and Impact. And the way those all taper, the way those all shows go, it meets him. And he said in interviews that he makes just as much money now, if not more, doing that than he ever did. So he might be here for the long haul, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Because he could make his own schedule for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, if he's probably making more money than he was in WWE, which is pretty good if you could say that, because WWE does pay pretty well. And then, also with their merchandising and all that. So I give him a lot of credit for, trying to remake himself and use what he did in the WWE to his advantage on the indies.
Yep. And
this has actually been a great match. I've really enjoyed the psychology of the knee, and I've really enjoyed that. And I have a feeling this may end up being
This is a good old school NWA match right here.
100%. Yeah. This is like a good old fashioned limb work. I mean, this is just a great, really.
Now, some people may not like it, but there's a lot of psychology going on here. These are two guys that are friends, and they know each other, and you could see they have a great chemistry.
Right up my alley.
I don't know. Jack Stane kind of looks like Oli on the blow-away diet.
A little bit. Here's the other. Have you noticed though? So today I watched. I went back and watched NWA 70 today because it was the first NWA pay-per-view I bought. It was right after the first All In, right? And it was interesting because the national title was reinstated at that pay-per-view, and they did 2 4-way matches to determine who would go to the finals. Yep. The finals ended up being Sam Shaw and Willie Mack. And one of those guys is in Impact. The other one's now in NXT. But in those, you also had Sammy Guevara. You had Ricky Starks. Jax Dane was in it. So a lot of these guys you see that are popular today were actually in that show, which is really interesting to see.
It is. And Mayweather got Jax Dane to tap out. So even with his own injury. Yeah. So... So Anthony Mayweather.
Did that make a lot of sense though? Like that seemed really out of nowhere.
It did seem out of nowhere. I feel like this match could have ended with like some kind of a DQ where Jax Dane just smacks the shit out of Mayweather's leg and the match ends in a schmaz and leads down the line to maybe Mayweather losing and winning or continuing the feud. But it is a very strange way to end the match, kind of out of nowhere.
But that title looks really good on Mary. That title belt on him looks really, really good. I think he's really hurt, though, guys. I think his knees really hurt.
It might have been because he smacked the cement.
They could have just said, "Let's go home."
Yeah. It was that.
I saw the referee talk to Jack Stane. Did you say? And he was like, he kind of like shook his head.
Yeah.
It was that dive to the concrete. His knee got hurt right there.
He got smacked.
They're going to vacate this title. Watch what happens on the Impact on the tapings. I bet they vacate it.
Oof. Yeah, that could be rough. But Anthony Mayweather does retain the national championship.
Hey guys, going back to our conversation, do you feel now that some of these guys now? I know that sometimes the guys, the old territory guys, are a little critical of the guys today.
Hold on, Doctor.
Wait, what do we got?
Hold on. Jack Stane's going to be like, I've had enough of this. And he's chucking dudes around and he's going to fuck up some more knees and he's beating the hell out of us. Thank you, Billy. God, it's okay to think outside the box and have some brawls. Throw these fucking dudes around. Go beat up Kyle Davis.
So maybe this was how it was supposed to be then. Because if he was really hurt, they wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, you're right. So good call. So good booking then, because they had me fooled.
Wow. Who knows? Maybe the first episode of Power on Tuesday, we may see a rematch, and then we see Jack Stane. No, they're doing the old Finley routine there.
Oh,
I'm liking this. I don't know, Doctor. We like some. One of those turnbuckle screws.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Oh God.
To be honest with you, they may vacate the title anyway, just as part of a storyline.
Oh, I don't know. Doctor, come on, you like that?
I love this. This is old school right here. I love this.
We like a little.
Why didn't they do this with Latimer? Why didn't they do this with Latimer and Aldis? This is a kind
And
of
Aldis.
shit not for. Yeah.
This
is great.
This is fantastic. This is what we need to see.
Oh,
we don't just need to see random heels winning.
He's just went up to Kyle Davis. He's cashing in his championship series.
Oh,
brilliant.
This is
Absolutely
excellent.
Brilliant.
This
Brilliant.
is genius.
Brilliant.
This is genius.
How many times have you seen a national title change hands in the history of NWA since it was reinstated? I feel like this one moves more than any of them.
Oh my God. This is fantastic.
Look at him. He's like, fuck you, Pete. Oh, I love it. This is fantastic.
This is tremendous heel work right here.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little bummed that they're taking it off Crimson because I think he was a good champion. But this is fine. This is great.
We are getting some serious Jack Stane. Like this is
wow.
Wow. This is wild. And Jack Stane cashes in, and he is once again the NWA National Heavyweight Champion. And I don't know, guys. Give me this. Give me this 7 months from now. Or not 7. Let me think. March, April. It's I guess 6 months or 5 months from now at NWA 74. Let this thing marinate. Kind of like Rick Rude and The Ultimate Warrior in 1989, and give me a street fight wherever city they're in at the end of August.
I think
why
you have to have a match with a street fight, a rematch, and I think they'll say he's out for a little bit with his knee, so you could extend the feud a little bit.
Or maybe he was already injured when they came in tonight, and this is the way they did it out.
That's true too.
Yeah.
We did, because vacating. Dr. G and I are not in favor of over vacating and lots of things.
I agree.
We don't like a lot of things in abeyance. So, but why couldn't they have done this with Nick and Tom Latimer? I don't understand. This is gorgeous.
Latimer is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal heel. I love him.
And he's. I mean, he must have burned his eyes out looking at all those lights over the last fucking 2 months. 3 months. I mean, this is ridiculous, but this is genius. And Mayweather's looking like, yeah, he got me. Fucking son of a bitch got me.
You know what I love? I love the fact that Dane won or not Dane, but Crimson won the match initially, and that keeps him strong. And then I like the way they booked that. That was really, really well done. And I can't.
Yeah, well, you keep both guys strong.
Yeah, I don't give Billy a lot of credit on his booking because 9 times out of 10 he sucks at it. But that was really, really well done.
The sad thing, it's not just his booking, so that's even scarier.
Well,
he makes the ultimate decision, obviously, but
if Pat Kenny booked it, then anyway, I'll shut up.
Well done. Now that one. Now that one.
I got it.
The statute of limitations isn't over. It isn't expired for that.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's
wow.
But hey, if Pat Kenny booked it, even better. How's that? I'll leave it at that. And if Pat Kenny booking is better than Billy's booking, what does that say about Billy Corrigan at this moment? All right, I'm done. I'll stop now.
And Pat Kenny, if you're listening, if you're taking in the alternative commentary of,
I have a feeling the NWA is not picking our clips anymore from this show.
No, the opinions of one Sean Kidd are Sean Kidd alone, and not anybody else in the place to be mentioned.
So we're not going to hear your voice? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, you probably won't ever hear my voice on any NWA anything, I'm sure.
Podcast, yeah, this is podcast host chicken salad right there.
Yeah.
But
sorry,
right.
Scott. Sorry, Scott. That one slipped by me. I apologize. I had a thought around it, and I didn't mean it to come out that way initially, and it just happened. Anyway.
All right. So anyway, we have our women's tag team championships. Kenzie Page and who's this other one again? Something Evie. What's her name? Ella Envy. Is that her name?
Yeah. Apparently, these guys are a team on the indie scene. So
makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense.
I mean, they're matching outfits. I mean,
Well, and like Doctor and I said on the preview show that this is just a kind of a nice warm up to keep the Hex strong, because ultimately we are going to see the Hex against Kylie Ray and 2D Lynn. That's the feud, because that's what's been going on in the shows. But obviously Kylie Ray is in the title match later. Maybe 2D Lynn interferes here, or I'm not sure. But I mean that might be too much for Billy to maybe do, but who knows?
Unfortunately, I think Kylie Ray might be taking the pin in that one. That's why I'm a little worried about what's going to happen. So,
well, I said a name earlier, Shawnee. I don't know if you were on yet, and I said it to Doctor, and I talked about it. Don't forget about Natalia Markova.
That is correct.
Keep that in the back of your mind. Ooh, okay. A little bootay on the Hex tonight, huh?
Oh,
bootay.
Wow. What's going on with the Hex?
Boo and Tay going on tonight. Holy,
huh? I don't remember them showing that much skin before.
Boo, yeah. That's a lot of Boo and Tay. Doctor, I know you had a question you wanted to ask us, but before I do that, I want to ask you. You and I have talked, and I said this to Callum before Sean came on. Or maybe Sean was on by then. I had said that you and I have kind of harangued Billy for not kind of sexing up these venues for the pay-per-views. But what do you think tonight? Like, we have a screen, we have kind of a moderately pretty decent ramp. It actually feels like a big show tonight, right?
It feels like a bigger show, yes. I mean, they did a pretty decent job in St. Louis. But no, this looks pretty good. Little by little, I mean, I would love to see them start getting into like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, person crowds. I don't know what it's going to take to do that. And I think some of it has to do with what's gone on in the last couple of years. But I think as things grow with this Fight TV deal and stuff like that, I think if they start touring a little bit, which is what the plan was when we spoke to Dave Lagana, was that almost a couple of years ago now?
Yeah.
That they were planning on doing that, because I think you need to get the product out there a little bit more. Remember, a lot of the guys and girls in the NWA are in a lot of the small indie promotions around the country, so it's not like the areas are not familiar with a lot of the talent. And that brings me to my question: was, do you feel that these guys, the wrestlers now, are starting to go almost be like old school, back to the 80s a little bit? Like, not that these are really territories, but there are these small promotions, and they're having to work, kind of make themselves, with social media and everything like that now, YouTube, you have a chance to actually grow your own brand before you actually get to the bigger companies.
Sean, I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
I think here's what I find interesting. I think with AEW coming in, I feel like it's a lot more open now to, you could go where you want, wrestle when you want. You don't have to worry about the big companies. AEW, and I'm not giving them a ton of credit. What I will tell you is, though, they do the dark tapings, right? A lot of the dark tapings consist of independent wrestlers. Like, I'll use a great one. We were talking last night, Ring of Honor. Josh Woods, who's the pure champion over there, he's been on AEW Dark, right? So they take all these wrestlers that are in all these promotions, and they can intermingle them. So I think it's been now more acceptable, sans WWE at this point. I think it's more acceptable that you don't have to work for the big companies, but a lot of the other companies, the big players, AEW's more than welcome to work with independent folks. Impact worked with them. Impact brings in independent folks. The NWA's brought an Impact and AEW folks. I think it's just a bigger deal. Like, I think you're right. I think it's a lot of like the independent stuff, and then here and there, you can sprinkle them into the bigger shows for exposure while they continue to work their trade out there. So I absolutely think, even though it's not officially a territory type thing, because I think social media makes it more of an abundance that they're official wrestling promotions, I do think it has a little bit of that independent vibe. I definitely see what you're saying in that. I hope that makes sense what I just said. So
no, it does, because I feel that there are some that just go right into the WWE system, and obviously they go through NXT, and they've never really traveled the independent scene per se. And then you have those who have really worked their ways. I mean, think of guys like Bryan Danielson and and Kevin Owens and all that. Those guys were, indie stars for a long time, and they had to, work their asses off 7 days a week, kind of like the guys in the 80s, just to even make, a decent paycheck, except for when they went over to Japan. So they were now they're able to, obviously cash in on their independent fame, and they built their own brand already. So when they get there, look at, for instance, even though, TNA, they considered it the second or third company or whatever. Look at AJ Styles when he came to the WWE. Think of that pop that he got. And this is a guy that was never spoken about on WWE TV, but everyone knew of him. And because he worked his ass off for, 10, 15 years before he made it to the big time?
Well, he didn't actually make it there because of his Impact run. I think he made it there because of his Japan run. Because he went over there. I think the Impact run was one thing. I think once he went over to Japan and became the leader of Bullet Club, he became the cool cat that they wanted to get.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right to an extent, Sean, because you can get sort of typecast into sort of you are a T, like AJ could have easily been typecast into you are a TNA guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you can only, to an extent, work one way. Like, look how many of the NXT folk, when they get, who are purely NXT people who have come through the Performance Center, how many of them, when they've been brought up through the WWE system, how many of them go on to make decent livings out with the WWE? They're just sort of, when they're gone, they've got a name they can get, maybe add a couple $100 onto their asking price for the occasional independent, and somebody can put former WWE superstar on their poster. But how many of them actually make it? I think when you've got the way they are just now, you can work AEW, you can work Impact, and you can work NWA. You can get yourself out there, and it sort of does.
Look what Matt Cardona's doing.
Yeah, exactly. And Ben made that point in the chat. The WWE, whereas before it was the peak, it had to be. Like, that was where you always wanted to go. It's not the be all and end all anymore. He says that Cardona is the ultimate example of a guy who makes a great living and has raised his monetary value out with the WWE.
Exactly. Look at what Cody Rhodes did when he left the WWE. He wanted to make it on his own, and he went out to all these small companies. He was up here in Northeast Wrestling. I don't know if anybody's seen that on Facebook. They have some pretty big cards up here. He was their champion. He did, he did all these small matches, and then he did the whole thing with All In, and then actually really helped create a company. But now look at where he is now. He's back in WWE, probably making twice or three times what he was making the first time around. So he went and he built his brand, and now he made himself even more valuable.
But I remember one of Cody's first appearances after he left. He came over here for a tour, and he faced Joe Coffey in a match that was in just like a community centre, not just outside Glasgow. See, he was willing to put in. It was their biggest show. They got about 1,200 people at it. He was their biggest. That was their biggest show ever. They're normally used to working in front of like 200-300 guys, but he wasn't. He didn't think he was above performing in front of a couple hundred people at a time.
Just to jump in, this match has been a hell of a banger. This girl in the ring with she's pretty damn good.
That's Kenzie's the one in the ring.
Is that Kenzie?
The other one is the other one is.
It's hard to tell them apart, but it's pretty damn good. They have been hitting the shit out of each other. Yeah, stiff.
Just before you go on, Scott, I'd just like to thank Red Devil for the follow over on Twitter. Welcome to the chat, and hope you're enjoying the show so far.
So the best thing, I think, Matt Cardona's a great example of this. Now, obviously WWE is not the know all to end all, but eventually AEW is going to top out on their roster. And there's only so many guys Tony Khan can hire to make another huge announcement on the next Dynamite, followed by another huger Googer announcement on Dynamite. There's only so many guys that he can bring in. Eventually, he's going to have to actually start paying the guys that are there and start booking them and not dealing. So a guy like Matt Cardona, who instead of and the Hex, by the way, as we anticipated, has retained the tag titles.
Good match.
It was a very good match. They were hitting each other hard. Is now kind of piecemealing multiple jobs to make the same kind of money, if not more money, than he would have made if he just went to AEW. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna you can't hand out 37 TNT championships. So eventually guys are going to get kind of disillusioned, or girls are going to get disillusioned there, because there's only so many spots on Dynamite. There's only so many spots on Rampage, just like there's only so many spots on Raw and SmackDown. So if a guy like a Matt Cardona can make the same kind of money doing 4 things at once and be completely free creatively of whatever he wants to do, then they're going to do that, you know? And I think that could be, and I agree with Doctor's point, that you're going to see guys, switch things up and change the narrative on how to wrestle professionally in this business. Instead of, I'm going to I'm leaving WWE. Tony Khan's going to want me so I could cut a scathing anti-Vince promo, or AEW like Cody. Oh, I'm going to leave and cut a scathing anti-Tony Khan promo. Maybe it's like, you know what? I think I just want to go kind of mull around and do my own thing and make a little money here and a little money there. Because the life of a pro wrestler is not what it was in the 70s and 80s. Okay? These guys now, and ladies, but we'll talk about guys for the minute because there were more of them in the 70s and 80s for this comparison. You're talking about guys look how Ric Flair, greatest wrestler of all time. How many alimony payments does he have to make? 30? Nobody cared about marriages back then or seeing families or whatever, because they were on the road 300 days a year. And that wasn't just Vince. That was Crockett. That was Vern. It was maybe not Fritz, because he only traveled 20 miles. But, when you're traveling all those states and, your life falls apart, but you're making a ton of money, and you're, fronting the checks to your wife so they could pay the bills and buy the nice house. Now people want to be home. They like the lifestyle of being home a lot. So the allure of going to WrestleMania or going to Double or Nothing or All Out or All In at the expense of never being home is not sexy to these people, to these workers anymore. They like the Matt Cardona life of popping here, popping there, popping here, popping there. And some of them go for other jobs. Look at Justin's friend, John Walters. He lived the ROH life, and then he got into real estate and wrestled some here and some there, but he found himself a second business to, because he wanted his freedom. So I think the workers, by the way, they just did a montage of the entire lightweight tournament. And there we go. There is I know Sean's not happy, the new NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Oh no, the belt's fine. I was totally joking about the Burger King.
Oh, okay. The Burger King belt was never coming back. But that belt looks a lot like Lou Thesz's belt. That's like the Fez belt.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
But anyway, that's my point.
They've used before for the big.
I am disappointed. Denny Brown should be carrying that belt out right now.
I know. I agree. But that's my point. That I think it's just the lifestyle of a wrestler is different now than it was in the 80s, where you had no problem blowing your life off to spend 300 days on the road. Whereas wrestlers now are not crazy about that. That's why the quote allure of working in the WWE is not what it was. And the allure of working in, that's I love that t-shirt that fucking Colby's got on. Jimmy Rave approved. God bless him. That's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, Scott, that the WWE definitely has now, they're going back to house shows, so they have a little bit harder of a schedule than AEW. So the AW guys kind of love it because, again, if they're only working a couple nights a week, and then if they want to supplement their income because they're allowed to work on the indie circuit, they could choose to do it. Or if they're making enough money, they could choose not to do it, which is nice. I agree with you. I think it's a different lifestyle today.
Now, the only bad thing for AEW in allowing this culture, no, I don't want to say culture, this professional makeup, is that if you have a guy like Moxley's a perfect case. Here's a guy who was one of their big guys, and then he got hurt in another promotion. That's going to be problematic down the line. Eventually, you're going to have to start acting like a businessman and be like, well, he's one of my main guys. I can't have him getting hurt wrestling, Will Ospreay in a loser leave town or some shit. Like, so eventually you've got to take into account that if you're going to wrestle for multiple bosses, that eventually somebody's going to want you to, Yeah,
there's pros and cons of what they're doing with that, but I don't know what the answer is for that. I guess at this point, obviously Tony Khan pays pretty well, but I don't think he's paying WWE type money to his top star. So I guess that's the whole deal, is you can make a little extra money.
Yeah, but look at Kenny Omega. Like, Omega was running between Impact and AEW for close to a year, and now he's out because of some of the matches he was in, and just totally destroyed his body, just destroyed himself.
And a lot of guys at this point, did Colby get a new tattoo, or did he always have that tat?
I think he got married. I know he got married while they were in Nashville. I think he got married on Friday. I think he got married.
Did he really? That's funny.
Yeah, he got married while they were in Nashville. I saw it on his Twitter.
So, and now a lot of the guys that are in WWE right now, the older guys, they're there for two reasons. Number one, to make money, and number two, because they need it. They think if they stick around long enough and stay loyal, they'll have a job. They'll have a job. At the end. That's what a lot of them do. So that might be one of the other reasons. But AEW for now has got a pretty good business model. But if you got a guy that you're pushing like crazy and you're letting him go wrestle in other places because that's the cool thing to do, and then they pop a knee or something, well, maybe that's not the brightest thing in the world, So there is positives and negatives to that. You know what I mean?
But it's not only like Moxley, as you said, Moxley's one of their top stars. He was the heavyweight champion for God knows how many months. He's working GC. He was GCW's world champion. He's working death matches. I mean, that's like, so he's got the inherent risk of popping a knee or popping his shoulder. But if you're working death matches as well, that's just another headache. I wonder as well though how much the purchase of Ring of Honor is to, because as you guys say, AEW can't sign everybody. But I wonder if the Ring of Honor is the purchase has got something to do with that as well. But they're not going to. He's going to get them. He's going to have them. He's going to get them paid. Because one thing that Tony Khan has been really good with is making sure that guys get paid over the pandemic shutdown for a lot of the indies. He's going to have these guys help these guys get a bit of money coming in, but obviously no point in them doing it if they're going to have the occasional Dark Elevation match. Might as well do it on Ring of Honor. Just almost like a fifth brand that he can put all these guys on.
I'm so glad that Colby's wife got him to get a haircut because he was looking pretty rankled. He looks better with a haircut. I'm looking forward to this match because this thing could be an absolute train wreck. How big is I guess Homicide's about the same size as these guys. I'm guessing.
I mean, they're all fairly decent. I mean, yeah. So I know you picked I think you guys said you were going with Aries, right? Just because.
Well, I think G, you were sticking with Colby, right?
I was sticking with Colby.
Yeah, I really want Colby to take it. I really do.
The reason, and you know what sucks, Shawnee? I've been saying Colby, like I was telling you guys in the chat earlier. I've been on Colby for months, but I'm starting to try to figure out the CBA, the Corgan booking algorithm
There isn't one. That's the problem.
And I don't think I can. So I'm thinking, fuck it. Austin Aries is the most money guy here that he could be trusted. So I have a feeling they're going to end up giving it to him because he's a guy you could trust. I can't see him giving it to Homicide. And I mean, maybe Darius Lockhart, but it's either going to be Austin Aries or Colby Carino. But something tells me that now Austin Aries is the kind of guy that Billy feels is a money guy for that title.
Well, and Aries hasn't been anywhere. Like ever since he lost the Impact title, like years ago, he hasn't really done anything since then. Like he walked out and he's very politically outspoken about stuff. So I don't really know where anywhere else I don't think would really take him. So this might be his spot at this point, you know?
Is he not starting up a promotion with... Is he not part of that Braun Strowman EC3 deal?
Is he? I don't recall. Was he in that?
It seems like something he'd be part of.
The Control Your Name. Well, it does seem like something he would be a part of, correct?
Yeah.
I call that the machine gun posse because they all go out and shoot guns a lot. I'll look it up. I didn't think he was part of that, but I'll look it up. What is that? Control Your Narrative? Is that what that is, Colin?
I believe so.
Yeah. What a weird name for a wrestling promotion.
But just that name alone does sound like that's something that Austin Aries would be involved in.
Mm-hmm.
It's been pretty a little slow paced so far. It'll be the whole, pairing off thing because Dr. G loves matches with more than two guys in it. So that's another thing with Billy. I understand you want to give everybody a payday, like the old school WrestleMania thing that Vince would do, but the multi people matches get a little much after a while. They get a little much. We got to have everybody on the show. Let's have a 13-way.
It should be something you do once in a while, not all the time. It shouldn't be the norm.
Yeah. And Ben's right. Aries can't keep his gob shut. He is obviously notorious for being a complete, dipstick. But and maybe he's not. Maybe he's the kind of guy that Billy doesn't want to trust. So now I'm starting to go back and thinking maybe it is Colby Carino. I don't know.
I mean, he's actually shown up. I mean, they did the tapings way back, and he's here tonight. So I guess he's dependable. So I don't know. Maybe he will be here for the long haul.
I think he's a good guy that you have on your roster because he is, he is to quote Dr. G, he is a good hand. But is he a guy that you want if he was to go off on a rant on Twitter or like a television show or whatever? Do you want your belt associated with him? Possibly not. But I think, although in saying that, the Tyrus is the current television champion, so. But I don't. So he might not be a guy you want to have put a belt on, but I do see the benefit of having him around in some way, shape, or form.
So Austin Aries is in that promotion as well.
Is it which one? Oh,
Yes, and they have their first true TV taping coming up in Dallas on March 31st. So.
Oh, there you go, Sean. Get yourself along.
No. That's not happening.
Are you telling me that's not you've not taken that in as part? You've not taken that into account when you're making your WrestleMania week plans?
No, that and Harlan Heat taking on FTR at that. Neither one of those are on my agenda.
I may need to speak to Mr. Locke about to see what if he wants to broaden his horizons during WrestleMania week again. Ben is the master of broadening horizons on Twitch feeds this year.
He has. He's done 2 GCW in that one, so that's he's definitely gone outside his comfort zone.
we've been talking tonight about as Colby and Aries are jacking each other. We were talking about like the roster and guys that stick around. Do you think that's why maybe? Because one thing that G and I have constantly bitched about is the lack of choices and things on their shop site. Do you think because they're very limited in their fiscal ability to do things like that, that's why they're hesitant about making T-shirts for guys and stuff, because they're afraid of spending the money on making a bunch of T-shirts and then the guy leaves?
I mean, it's possible, by the way, that was an awesome spinning tombstone that he just did.
Yes,
that was really good.
Yeah, he did. I love that finisher. He's done that many times.
I think, but I think you got enough on the roster that are here regularly at this point where you can do merch for them. Colby's not going anywhere. Look at that. What the?
I don't know what he was
going for there.
I don't know if he was trying to pin him and maybe wasn't. I don't know.
But like for example, we've always brought up, well, why don't we get some Strictly Business track jackets? But so they got enough regular crew to do stuff with that they haven't done with either. So but that might be part of the bigger picture. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know how much because I can't remember what they had pre-COVID, but I have a feeling that they had a lot more stuff for the guys there, and I don't know if they were stung in that way because obviously when COVID hit and they stopped the shows, they let a lot of their guys go. I don't know if he feels that he doesn't want to be stung for that again, but I think if that's how he feels, it's a strange way to take, because you can't account for a global pandemic hitting, and can't let that.
Well, they're working with Pro Wrestling Tees, so you would think that they could, I know this. They don't have to deal with the distribution and all that, because there's a whole part of the company you have to create to deal with the marketing part of it, and they don't have obviously the funding for that. So you went with Pro Wrestling Tees. So let's see some more stuff on Pro Wrestling Tees. That would be awesome, but I don't know why they're not doing it.
And I feel like Pro Wrestling Tees is very adjustable in terms of timing. So if someone's gone, they can pull the stuff like in a heartbeat, or if someone comes in, they just add it real quick,
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
How about a Strictly Business shirt? Like a T-shirt. You start wearing that to other wrestling shows. People are like, what is that? And then that's a great way to market yourself. So I'm surprised because obviously Billy's been a marketer for himself for many years. He's been in the music business 35 years or something like that. So it's not like he's new to this type of stuff.
But even lack of branded stuff. There's not a lot of NWA stuff. There's the occasional there's the occasional T-shirt. There's not very. Last time I checked, there wasn't a great deal of even NWA branded merch. Given how the NWA presents itself, I know that they've got their deal with Fight TV, but there's not a DVD to be found. I can imagine that given that it's more of an old school show. Ooh, they'd be able to sell DVDs, but there's nothing.
Wow. I'm
stunned. Didn't see that coming.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset.
No, but I didn't see that coming at all.
I didn't either.
Wow. By the way, today is Homicide's birthday, by the way.
Well, happy birthday. Maybe that's why Billy did it. That's a good booking decision. Here, become the junior heavyweight champion because it's your birthday.
I did. This is the last guy I saw winning this one. Wow.
Me too.
He was 4th out of 4 for me, I think. But no, I like that. I like this decision.
I don't like who he pinned to win it, but
no, that's all right.
Wow.
Homicide is your new NWA junior heavyweight champion.
I think you're going to see some good matches for this title.
Good for him. Good for him. Maybe him and Colby at the next NWA anniversary show 1-on-1 for that.
Yep.
I wonder where they go with Aries now. I wonder if that's it'll be interesting to see how they book these guys. The one thing I am curious about after these pay-per-views is who stays, who goes, who gets. I'm just curious. That's always something cool to watch.
Well, you keep Aries strong too because he didn't get pinned. So
But
it's a question of
if he sticks around.
Yeah, if he sticks around. If he might have been just here to pop a couple of Fight TV clicks and make a little scratch, but he might be
I like
gone
that
now.
championship belt.
Yeah, that's a really nice belt. Really nice belt.
I agree. There is a little crown on it, Sean. So there's a little
No,
crown.
I like it. It's fine. I think it looks good. I like it.
I agree.
I like that.
I'm glad they didn't use the one. I'm glad they didn't use the old school one that looked exactly like the 10 pounds, except the leather was orange. I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah, that one was pretty ugly. I didn't like that one.
Yeah, I don't want any belts like matching each other.
Oh, there's your pal.
Oh, here we go, Sean.
Ha!
Oh, get the fuck.
He looks like he was. He looks like he was at the bar.
Oh, turn that up. I want to hear what this freaking piece of garbage has to say.
I'm not being booked. Not involved.
I'm not booked.
I'm not booked. I have no tag team partner. Honestly, I do think it's a missed opportunity. They could, I think Trevor Murdoch, I know I was joking last night, but in all seriousness, I think in a tag team environment, he would be perfectly fine.
Agreed.
And I will admit his matches, even as champion in singles, have not been that bad. I will admit that.
Oh, he had the concussion.
Uh-oh. Oh, we got the heel turn happening.
I think so.
That's right. Nick Aldis, Hulk Hogan, you bastard.
Oh.
Big time by the treasure.
Yeah, he pulled that whole Hogan Bret Hart dynamic on you. WrestleMania. I like it. Why do they need to keep him in the world title picture? Why?
But this is a nice new wrinkle to it.
No, it is. Part of it for me also is babyface Murdoch just makes no sense because he's just such an unlikable guy,
Oh God. There's the Billy Corgan thinking, when in doubt, turn him heel.
You know what? I might be all right with him being a heel, to be honest. I might be okay with it. I mean, why would Aldis go out of his way to, you know what I mean? Why would Aldis not strike while the iron's hot? Wouldn't you? Oh, he's coming to get some Cardona ass.
I'm going to go cook some ass on the grill.
That's a good little promo he's cutting here, though. I'll give him that.
He's going after everybody.
He's the new Dusty Rhodes. He's going to have his hand in every pot.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, but you know what? He's better as I don't know if he's technically a heel here, but when he's fired up like this, he's actually better.
I wanted to be a heel because I could dig this. I dig this. This is okay.
He's now going after the fans because for everything that every time, or just the whole time that Cardona's been here, they've been cheering Cardona.
I love it. This is smart. This is smart booking right here. So for everything I bitched about last night with Billy's booking, tonight he's done it right so far.
Yeah, he has been pretty good so far.
Yeah. He must have heard our feed last night and said, well, I got to fix it because Sean Kidd didn't like it.
That's right.
That's right.
That's
sure
right.
That's what happened.
They already mentioned, they already took the clip and put the voice in there. Now they're trusting the network. We're kind of like Cyrus. We are the network. The network is getting the job done.
So at the end, Scott, at the end of the show last night, they were doing interviews with Corrigan and everything, and the arena emptied. You saw the snotty pod guy out in the crowd in the chairs. I guess he was doing some kind of directing work for them last night. It really made me angry.
I thought he was putting the chairs away because that's all he's good for.
Maybe he was. I don't know, but I was a little irritated seeing him on my TV.
Yeah, Doctor and I we could have just hit him with the fucking chairs. Oh, that guy's got a Crockett Cup shirt on behind Tim Storm. I've also decided that first of all, I'm going to beat the shit out of Orange Santa. Fuck that guy. And secondly, Dr. G and I, and you, Sean, and anybody else, in 2 years at NWA 75, I'm getting these fucking seats right behind this announce table. And every time I see them talking, I'm going to stand up with the NWA Saturday Special T-shirt, and I'm either gonna honk Velvet Sky's nubs, or I'm gonna pat Joe Galli on the head. The other.
So those people listening, if Bully Ray can honk her nubs, why can't Scott?
and I'm a better booker than he is.
That's hilarious. That's awesome.
I didn't blame other people for ROH going in the toilet. So
I'm holding out. Listen, I'm holding out for a Baltimore show. I want to show them Baltimore or Philly. Like if they can do one of those, then you know what? We'll figure it out. We need something over on this side.
Yeah, I agree. Doctor, you even mentioned little Philly action.
Definitely. I would actually like it to be in Philly, to be honest. I think it'd be a good crowd.
I think
I'd be okay with Baltimore or Philly.
Yep. I don't know what building in Baltimore they do it. Philly, I mean,
they could do it at the one that they could do it at the building that Ring of Honor always filmed at.
Yeah, yep. And then Philly, obviously do it at the ECW arena. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Or Viking Hall now, or the 2300, whatever the fuck they call it. There's no doubt that they could do it in Philly and jack that place up.
Impact taped at the ECW arena last night. So I can see them doing the ECW arena. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Go to Tony Luke's after?
Oh, be awesome. So Kylie Ray actually shows up for a show once. That's good.
Yeah, well. It's the title match, that's why.
I'm just surprised to see her here tonight.
I just want to super kick Orange Santa. Well, he's in my seat, Jay Corzo 84.
Oh, here comes.
This should be a good match.
Here comes the swerve queen of the century. Oh, I didn't break my arm. Well, is it really that far fetched that you would have hurt yourself again, Chelsea Green?
So Scott in Impact. Yeah. So in Impact, she has been building an angle with Mickie James that I think comes to a head on Thursday's Impact. So she apparently broke her arm on the last Impact pay-per-view while she was faking it the whole time just to sucker Mickie in. So she's actually I think at the next Impact pay-per-view, she's taking on Mickie James.
Oh, wow.
So it'd be interesting because I'd be curious to see if Mickie comes out with Nick tonight.
It would make sense.
Well, if Chelsea's out with Matt, I'd be curious.
God, those boots are huge. My God, those boots go so high.
Oh, boots.
Yes. Mm. So we think Chelsea's. So who do we think's winning this tonight?
I really hope it's not Chelsea.
Listen, if you're ever going to take the Camille, what a beautiful outfit.
God, she
beast mode right there. Beast.
She is beast mode. I'm telling you, I've said it every week on the Saturday special. She is the hardest working person in this whole fucking company.
Now,
hardest
if you're gonna,
working.
If you're going to steal anyone from this company, it would be her. Like she would be the one I would take for my women's division in a heartbeat.
I agree.
Like I can't imagine Vince doesn't slot. Could you imagine her versus Charlotte? I mean, I just imagine if I'm Vince McMahon, I'm drooling over getting her in my roster. That's all.
No doubt.
Yeah.
But she showed up that one time on Dynamite to hype the Layla Hirsch match for Empower.
Yeah,
and she's never been on again, which is really, really strange. That's the one and only time she's ever been on AEW.
And now Layla Hirsch is getting a big push in AEW right now.
Yeah,
rightfully so, because that match was a banger.
It was. But I think if you're going to take the belt off Camille, this is kind of the situation you have to do it in if you're ever going to do it, right? Because honestly, who else on this roster? I know we talked genocide and all that, but I feel like at this point, Camille is almost like, and I don't want to compare her to China because it's not the same, but she's almost like the China, like, who do you got that's really going to take it from her, you know?
The only one, and I've said it, I mean, she's one of my girls, is in terms of just matching up the size and the power would be genocide. It would be genocide.
But they haven't exactly booked that's again, they haven't exactly booked her. You remember when like they were booking Sion to go after the TV title and they booked them like garbage? I feel like they haven't really done justice with genocide to get her to that point either.
Yeah, you're right.
I think Markova is the one that they really would like to see the marquee matchup.
Yeah, I could see that.
If Chelsea Green
you're
is
going to take
around,
the belt off of her, it's in this type of match.
Well, that's what I'm worried about. Chelsea's a little buzzworthy right now, so I'm a little worried that, that worries me a little bit. She's with Cardona. As long as Cardona's here, Chelsea's going to be here too.
I agree with J. Cos on the chat. Camille might as well have a Bruno-like run with the Burke.
Why not?
7 years. Do it.
Why not? I agree with G. You've said it. If no one's going to touch her, don't waste it, right?
Well, yeah, I agree. Don't take it off of her if you don't have to. I just hope that. Listen, Billy's made some good booking decisions tonight. I'm going to hope he continues to do that.
It's like Roman just now. There's nobody in the WWE that could, apart from one, obviously, we know who that is, but who could take the belt off Roman just now. So why consider it at this point in time? Until Drew wants to take the belt back, Roman's not going to lose the belt. So why just have him tear through everybody?
Oof. Be careful with those guys. Be careful, and gals. Be careful with those over-the-top rope moves when you're, 3 inches from the fucking stairs. If Camille gets hurt, I don't know what the hell I'll do.
Not only that, on the concrete, too.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys and gals. But, and I say it, we say it every week. Since the restart a full year ago, Camille has been a complete 180. She was rough on her promos. She was not sloppy, but she was very basic. I mean, this is crazy. How she has evolved in the last year.
Well, I told you guys earlier.
What she is now.
I told you earlier I watched NWA 70, right? And it right before they do a video package, right before the rematch between Cody and Nick Aldis, it's the first time Camille is introduced, is at NWA 70, and he introduces her. So kind of to your point, to see that evolution since that pay-per-view is pretty amazing in what she's become.
Yeah. She's improved immensely, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. If she were to lose the title tonight, that's, I think, part of maybe her face turn, because I think that's definitely coming.
Well, I said last night that maybe they like if the Cardonas are a thing, maybe they reform Strictly Business as a face team to go after the Cardonas. Because it would make sense, because you got the Cardonas, you got Matt, you got Chelsea, and then on the other side you would have Strictly Business and Camille, so it evens out. So it makes sense.
I think if they do face turn Strictly Business, I think they got to ditch Adonis. I mean, he's a bum. I think I think they got to recruit like somebody on the babyface side that would be, I'm telling you, be a great Strictly Business guy. Mims.
Yes,
Silent Assassin.
Why not?
What about Harry? I could see Harry, or maybe they do kind of a quasi, well, no, they're not going to do that because Camille would be with Latimer. I was going to say Harry Smith wouldn't be a bad one either, but you wouldn't want to negate Doug Williams in that. So trying to think who would be good in that in Strictly Business. Ooh, nice.
The only reason why I would say that, if she were to lose the belt tonight, obviously she wouldn't get pinned, was because for her to be a face, it's better to be chasing the title than have it already in the face turn. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to have a point when you're a face that you're in a weak spot right now, and the fans want to get behind you to come back and win it. Then already she's dominant as champion, so it's really hard to turn somebody that's dominant already and has the championship into a face.
Good point. That's a great point.
By the way, in Dallas, we'll get to see Cardona. He's taking on Chris Dickinson. By the way, guys, I don't know if you knew that or not.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Dr. G's guy.
Yeah, he's taking on
Dirty
Dickinson. At the GCW show. In
Dickinson a face now?
He's been injured, so he's just coming back. He went and won whatever that United BS wrestling was. He won their title, and then he got injured. So I think that kind of went away. And I think this might be his second match back since injury. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's facing Cardona.
Yeah, is that garbage company still around?
No, it's not garbage. It's good. Dr. G.
No, he's talking about.
No, I'm talking about the.
Oh, I thought he was talking about
UWN.
GCW. I thought he was going garbage championship.
No. I like GCW.
No, what do you think? What is he pulling a Lawler promo? Extremely crappy wrestling.
No, it's gone back to the championship wrestling and just insert whatever city you're in. That's what it is now, Doctor. Yeah.
Championship wrestling from your backyard. After seeing that picture the other week.
I wonder if they
Although I
melted
know
down.
I know the championship wrestling from Memphis had a Grisham versus Aldis match on one of their shows. And that was was that this weekend? So I'd have to go back and look at that because that would be a match I wouldn't mind watching. I'm sure it was pretty good.
I'm wondering if they melted down that UWN title that they're never going to use. Great tournament that went to waste.
Chris Dickinson won it from Mike Bennett. They finally faced, and I don't know whatever they did with it because he got injured. So I think maybe your point, it got melted down.
Maybe got melted down into the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship belt.
It's a nice belt, maybe.
It is.
Is Marquez still pissed with the NWA?
Yeah, probably.
I have no idea.
We'll never know what went on down there.
Dave Marquez Championship Wrestling. Because I think
he
Marquez
thought he could be so. Thought he could be so carny, fucking Marquez, so carny, and he got played.
But
he really got played.
That's all it came across as. He started this United Wrestling. What was it called? United Wrestling Network, and
UWN.
Yeah, glammed onto Billy and said, "Oh, we'll do this in conjunction with the NWA." Got everybody to pay $14 every month for shows, with the promise of having NWA on it. And I will hazard a guess that the majority of the people that bought that were guys like us who would wanted to have bought it to get the NWA fix, and he used the NWA's name to get buys and fucked off into the sunset. And all he did was promote his own stuff. I'm going to say a different 4 or 5 letter word there, but I thought I'd censor myself after I dropped the F-bomb. But,
so I found I found the Gresham versus Nick Aldis match that was this week on Championship Wrestling from Memphis, and it was for the Ring of Honor World Title, by the way. So apparently it was a banger of a match, and Grisham retained. So I'm gonna have to watch that match with 24 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one.
I'm digging Camille's outfit tonight. I like the shiny boots. She looks like a champion tonight.
How many more matches we have, guys, on this? I gotta look.
We got the world title match,
the finals of the tournament, and the TV belt.
TV title.
3 matches left.
5 minutes.
Thuggin' and buggin'.
This has been good.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, Camille just looks like a goddess. She really does. Been a stiff match too. One thing about NWA, they're not afraid to wrestle snug. I will say that. They don't
Just
mind.
think though, how much like their pay-per-views are always so good. And by the way, you brought up earlier tonight that the crowd tonight looks more full than last night. It 100% is more full than it was last night. But the other thing is when they have these live crowd, wow, good spot there.
Very nice spot.
When they have these live crowds there, it seems like the wrestling is better and it's bigger and they go all out like it's a normal regular show versus when they do these 4 months of taping. At some point, wear and tear comes in because you're taping so much at once, and it kind of it hurts the product a little bit too. So I wish they could get on the Impact way of scheduling, like at minimal, try to figure out how to do every 4 weeks. You know,
I don't understand why it's so expensive to just do one a month, just one Saturday a month, bring all the talent in, do 4 weeks of Powers, and then Sunday do 4 weeks of NWA USA. Done.
Yep.
That's it. And then you move on. And then 4 weeks later, get everybody back in, do another taping. I don't understand why you got to tape fucking 15 goddamn shows.
Because he can't afford it. That's why. There's a reason why they do it. They don't have the money to do that.
That's crazy. How you don't have the money to just do it once a month. I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, because you got to figure this is a pretty good crowd in here. I mean, I know they said it was sold out for at least night 2, so they had to make pretty good money on the Chase show and this show, I would imagine.
Oh,
she did her move.
She did Cardona's move. Well, it could be her move as well.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That is alpha dog right there.
Oh, grab the rope. Damn it. Well, even that move Chelsea did on Kylie right before it was pretty good.
Look at her.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I'm not having this.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Billy
is so good about not doing garbage ref bumps. No garbage ref bumps.
Hey, it's Tommy Young 2022, Colin.
Wait.
God.
They're all looking up the ramp.
The new Tommy Young. The new Tommy Young.
Natalia Markova.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, ref bumps.
No.
Nice.
There you go, guys.
Spill.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No. I don't say anything yet. I think I'm behind. Oh God. Oh.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
What? Wow. All right. So I'm kind of on pins and needles right now.
I know. I'm
this
nervous now.
This is the match of the night.
Oh.
This has been the match of the night.
This is like I was with the freaking Aldous Murdoch match at the anniversary.
Oh! One.
No.
Oh,
you guys are behind.
Yes, I'm behind. All right. Good job.
Okay.
Very nice. Okay, we can breathe.
Listen, guys. Listen. I love La Rebellion, and I love our British friends. This was the match of the night.
It was.
Match of the night.
It was, but we haven't seen the finals of the cup yet either. So
That's right.
that was a fantastic.
was
By
good.
the way, the match she had, the title match with Hirsch, also one of the matches of the night on the last pay-per-view.
Is this the new thing? Hey, here's Tom Latimer, the hanger-on. Is he going to become the hanger-on asshole boyfriend, husband or fiance or whatever now? Is that what this is going to be?
I don't know, but at least one member of the couple has to be successful.
Yeah, pretty much.
But look at Latimer, man.
Wasn't
He's
he
got
upset
the
with
look.
her when they threw in the towel?
He was, but I mean,
Did he?
I'd be back.
I think he ditched the chest hair. He did the whole WWE thing of shaving his chest.
I'd be
Usually,
bowing too. Interesting. So yeah, that's not what I expected. So that's, but again, whatever crap Billy was booking last night, he's on fire tonight.
He is on fire tonight. He definitely is. Oh boy, very very nervous about that. But
yeah, that was excellent. But I was I was worried there for a second. As soon as the ref bump went down, I was thinking, this is Chelsea's going to steal it. But
it makes me for a minute there, I thought Kylie was going to steal it.
I would have been okay, but I would have been okay with Kylie stealing it. I just don't get Chelsea Green personally. Thank you.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting because the Cardonas are on a tear tonight in terms of losing. So it'll be interesting if Cardona, if Cardona loses, I'm going to guess that they're probably done. That would be my guess. So.
All right, next up, little thuggin' and buggin'.
Rodney Mack, he still looks like a beast, man.
Look at
him. He really does.
He is in phenomenal shape.
Well, if you're married to Jazz, I imagine you got to be a badass mother. So.
Yeah. And I was, you guys were talking about it last night, and I said it. I think because I even said it to G. I'm like, why is Rodney Mack getting a TV title match? I don't get it. And then I realized that obviously Billy's not trying to burn anybody out, and pretty much anybody else that would be a legit contender is in the tournament. So he wasn't good. He clearly didn't want anybody double dipping. So I mean, this could be a fun match. I like to think. I mean, it is Tyrus, but
yeah, you're right. He could, like, for example, Mims was on the pre-show tonight in a singles match, but you couldn't predetermine that he was going to lose the tag team match to make a TV title match tonight.
Right,
so
exactly.
Makes sense.
So how many wins is Tyrus on just now? Towards the 7?
If he's past 7 at this point.
Is he?
If he's past 7, then they've either ditched the rule, or
he's still due.
We're missing matches. Yeah.
So Austin Idol was not on the show last night, so I'm curious where he was.
That is true. And now we have to have a.
Maybe he was at some other taping, like many of the other people were last night.
Yeah, probably.
Would I be speaking out of turn if I said I wouldn't mind a Rodney Mack win tonight? Rodney Mack is TV champion. I can get on board with that.
I would not be against it. I would not be against it.
So,
but I think there's other people that are around, like, for the longer term, that deserve it more, though. Obviously.
Right. So here we are on according to our good friends at Cage Match. Not counting the the night that he won it, which I don't think would count towards the lucky 7. He's on 4. He beat Black G's back in August. He then beat Jordan Clearwater in October. He then beat Sion at Hard Times 2, and then he beat Jaden Roller back in January, but he's not had any other matches since then, so he's currently on 4.
Seems like more, but yeah, that makes sense. He's been sitting in the if Rodney Mack is thugging and bugging, then Tyrus has been shaking and baking in like the tanning bed. Good Lord, look at him. Looks like a giant Cornish hen.
I think him and Storm have hit the tanning beds together.
And yeah. Latimer was.
He looks like a ham.
Latimer was quite tanned as well.
Oof, Tyrus is looking. I tell you, Jack Stain's almost getting up there with Tyrus.
Honestly, might be a bit of a shit take here. I think Tyrus actually looks smaller than he usually does, to be honest with you. Maybe it's incidentally. It might be the tan.
Well, I want to welcome some of our chat guests, J Corzo 84 and Spartan _Wari and SWK 5257. Welcome, gang. It's been a fun night.
Spartan Warrior as well. Just like to thank for the follow on Twitch. Thank you very much. Welcome to the
yes. Thank you.
welcome to the nation. Hope you're enjoying the show so far, and give us your thoughts on what, if you've been watching the show. What are your thoughts on it so far? I see that you're quite happy that the Briscoes have made it to the Crockett Cup finals.
Not as much as jacked up Zbyszko. Jacked up Zbyszko. Yeah, right. And for all of you that followed us on Twitch, Dr. G will sign a hand and he'll say, good.
Yeah, for
Tyrus a good hand?
For
a
the
good hand.
No, Tyrus is not a good. No,
Tyrus looks like he eats hands.
So for all the alerts I've set up for any new Twitch followers, it's got the Macho Man ooh yeah or oh yeah, and it says you're the cream of the crop. But I think for the NWA shows we should have a Dr. G soundbite and saying thank you for the follow. You are a good hand.
I'm laughing. Jay Corso, Tyrus is glistening like a rotisserie chicken.
Like a rotisserie chicken. That's awesome. There you go, Doctor. Little Kenny Rogers action back in your day, huh?
All right,
yeah,
I take back what I said about Tyrus. He's still a big load. I apologize.
No,
he is a load.
Yes, he's still on the larger side, but I do see what you're saying. He does look as if he's started to tone up a bit, given that he's been TV champion for 9 months.
I think the tan makes him look a little better, like a big rotisserie chicken, like he just said.
Is it the same way that if you wear black and you wear pinstripes, it's black's got a bit of a thinning?
Yes. It's like certain clothes are thinning.
Yeah, he's tanned up and he's wearing an all black singlet.
That's right.
But I mean,
on the other hand, Mac looks pretty good.
Oh, Mac is in
does look
superb
great.
shape.
But sadly, guys, because of Tyrus, we haven't been able to say in a while that we've had a great television title match in a while, because we haven't.
Oh no.
We haven't. I thought with the street fight thing, him and Scion at Hot Times 2 would have been pretty good, but that sucked. And this is going to be okay, but I feel bad for these guys following that women's match, because that women's match is I really loved watching Lauderbellion and Harry and Dougie pound the crap out of each other, but that women's match is the match of the night. I don't think there's any question about it. And probably the match of the weekend. I mean, we watched night one, guys. Anything from last night that maybe comes close?
Well, I might be a little biased, but I'm all in on the British. I'm all in on my British brethren, Scott. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I love the Commonwealth. That was a great match earlier. I just, in my personal opinion, I think that women's match is match. And again, no disrespect to Chelsea and no disrespect to Kylie Ray. It's all about Camille. She's a beast.
I think Ben's favorite match, I mean, he was really into that End versus the Hawks match. So I'm not sure, Ben, what you thought, but I know he was really into that match last night. He really
that was good.
Yeah.
It was good. I was stunned when they won that match. I was stunned.
I was too. We all our jaws all dropped at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the everyone in the chat, let us know what you think the match of the weekend so far has been. I liked the thingy. I liked the end match. The end match yesterday. The main event was quite good as well.
Yeah, the main event was very good. So I mean, it's hard. Listen, tonight the women's match and the La Rebellion match obviously are the big two so far.
This is probably the slowest match of the night so far.
Yeah.
Wow, look who's in there.
All right, Corzo liked the women's match, and he liked the junior four-way too tonight.
Junior four-way.
When you go to the prepared food section at the store, those chickens move very slow. This is just like this match.
Man, poor Tyrus just brings this down a whole nother level. So
I mean,
bad.
he's just.
I hate it.
Oh my God!
What benefit did they get out of him being their champion? I don't understand. Because he shows up on Fox News with it. I mean,
but what is that? That doesn't do anything for the NWA. It's not like he says anything about the NWA. I mean, I don't see Gutfeld in the crowd. You know, well, that would be hilarious if he was. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, obviously limited. Being on the other side of the pond, my knowledge is limited of Fox News. Is there a big crossover between NWA fans and Fox News? The Fox News current affairs show that he hosts.
Well, I don't know. Based on booking Austin Aries, maybe. Austin Aries and Tyrus, so maybe there's a connection. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly, I just don't. I don't know. I don't get the Tyrus thing at all.
I don't either. I mean, is it a name? I mean, Billy, at some point, Billy's got to knock off we need to put name guys in front here and start worrying about the Latimers and the Colby Carinos. And I mean, I'm not mad Homicide won. I'm not saying that.
No,
and Homicide, I think, will be good. I think he'll be a good junior champion, and he'll put guys over. And we're going to see some great matches on those Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, I guess, NWA USA shows. But this is bullshit. I mean, whether you have good heels or even, am I saying Rodney Mack should win this match tonight? No. This is just going to be a good filler match because all the legit TV contenders are all in the tournament. And I'm fine with that. Perfectly fine with that.
You know what I would have been okay with? Okay, so I know you said you didn't mind Blue Meanie last night. What if they had Tyrus dress up as his old WWF character and come out and say, "Someone call my mama," and start dancing? That would be the Tyrus. I would have been okay with that Tyrus. That one would have been fun.
For a second there, I thought you said the Blue Meanie instead of Rodney Mack.
No. No, if he come out and done that whole dance spiel with "Someone call my mama," that would have been great.
Oh, my mama.
As somebody who's currently making my way through the Total Divas from the start, I'm all in on the Funkasaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Because Naomi and Cameron are oh my god, he almost killed himself.
Oh my god.
Oh,
wait, you see this move,
I'm a little behind. Hold on.
Oh, that's okay. You'll see it in a minute.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
God, what a mess.
Jesus, work within yourself, Tyrus.
That's a lot of meat hitting that right there.
Yeah. If I'm Jazz, I'm like, this fat shit better not kill my husband. It's like, good Christ. But interesting math, guys. You said 4 matches, Callum.
Mm-hmm.
This would be win 5.
Mm-hmm.
We could fuck around a couple months, and then you could have him beat somebody in June at the June pay-per-view for win 6, and then pump it up. Say, you know what? For my TV title defense at NWA 74, I'm going to pick some bum like some guy that hasn't won any matches lately, like Mims. And then, baby, David versus Goliath. The underdog walks into NWA 74, breaks the streak, and Mims becomes television champion.
So
okay, good. Thank God this thing's over.
This is only his 5th defense.
That's only number 5.
God, why does it feel like he's been champion for like 4 years?
He has been champion for 4 years. He just hasn't had that many matches. But there you go, guys. That's 5. So now we look ahead to the June pay-per-view, whether it's when our shadows keep falling or whatever the hell they're going to call it. And he gets the 6th, and then he spends the summer, hand-picking bums. And he thinks, this Mims guy, all he does is lose. And then we go to NWA 74 at the end of August, and Mims breaks it. Telling you. Come on. If you're listening, Billy. If you're listening, Billy, it's not that hard.
Or
you've done the math.
Here's a piggybacking off your idea, Scott. What if he does it that he gets to number 6, and then for NWA 74 he goes, now that we've got a proper junior heavyweight division, he goes, I'm going to pick somebody from the junior heavyweight division, and it's Colby, and Colby ends up beating him for the TV title at NWA 74.
That's entirely possible.
I like that.
I like that. Ooh, Mae Valentine's actually looking very hotchy tonight, I have to say.
Yeah, I had this question last night for them about her.
I heard your discussion.
Yes.
Some days it depends. For me, when it comes to her, it depends what she's wearing. Tonight, that top is very flattering.
I think sometimes it's her makeup too.
Yeah, tonight she looks great.
She does.
She does. So I wonder what's going to happen, Dr. G, with our boy Aaron Stevens without Kratos. I don't know if you know or not, but last night, just to recap those that may not have watched night 1, Kratos was not there last night and Aaron Stevens' partner in his match was the Blue Meanie.
Disgrace.
Yeah. So there was no Kratos. Kratos was actually wrestling a New Japan match. So I don't know if that means there is. I mean, we'll listen to this promo. I don't know if there's another Kratos sighting again in the NWA, or if Aaron Stevens is going to have a little fun here with his nice fuzzy jacket and go from there.
Well, he's clearly not here for the taping, so we're not going to see him for at least 4 months unless he flies in tomorrow.
True.
So well, that could be the story. We'll see.
Well, the line of questioning is he now going to be a singles competitor?
I think in Japan, actually, the match he's having tonight is a tag team match, so I don't know. And by the way, we also mentioned last night that Aaron Stevens looked like he's starting to get himself back into his Glory Days shape. He is definitely dropped a lot of weight.
Yeah, we were saying, Doctor, because he definitely is not as flabby as we've seen him lately. So he's definitely trimmed off a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that'll help him in the ring. And I like that he's back to his entertainment,
yes.
side of him rather than that. I don't know what that in between where he was not sure of himself, all that nonsense they were doing.
My ex-boss used to do her mascara that way too, or her eyeshadow, whatever the hell that is. She used to do it that way too. I think she still does. Any good in this promo, Callum?
Well, Stevens is just excellent. He's flicking between his character and like real life. So he sort of went out of his character and said he was really disappointed that he'd been a fan of the NWA all his life. He's disappointed to get knocked out in the first round of the Crockett Cup. But now he doesn't. So May asked him if who he wanted to win, and he's basically like, I don't care, it's not me. So it was it's fairly standard self-hype promo. Stevens is just so good.
He really is good.
It is good to see him get back to kind of who he should be, though. I am happy to see that.
Is David coming out? Is David going to come out here, Johnny?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't talk about. So I went back and listened to David Crockett because I didn't get to hear him last night on commentary.
Look at this commentary team.
He was rough. He was rough last night a little bit because
look at this team.
He didn't know who. Oh, wow. So David didn't know who anybody was last night. So my only gripe in that is maybe someone could have educated him a little bit on what was really going on before he came out, because he actually called PJ Hawks Luke Hawks a couple times because he didn't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But he did get a couple of stroke out moments. He did get pretty excitable a couple times, so I popped for that.
He likes it. He likes it.
So I like how they kick Storm out and Velvet out for these. I'm okay with this. This is a great commentary team right here.
I'll be honest with you. They should keep these three for the last two matches. They should keep these three out here for the world title match too.
I think Crockett was in the last two matches last night, if I'm correct, Callum.
Yes, he was. Yeah,
he was.
He did the last two.
Yeah. So, and by the way, it would make sense to have Pope out here just in case, because maybe Pope gets involved a little bit in the world title match. Maybe we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Jack Steen's not the only one that remembers what he's got in his back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it.
God, I love this tag team now. No disrespect to Nick, but Nick's got bigger fish to fry. These two need to stick around. They need to stick around. Well,
the good news is they'll be around at least for the next 4 months.
4 weeks,
right?
Yeah.
So whatever, how long it is. Oh wait, the next pay-per-view would probably be June, right? I guess is where they're going.
Last year, I heard you guys talking about it last night. So last year, When Our Shadows Fall was the first Sunday in June. Then the next one after that was the Empower NWA 73 combo. That was the last weekend in August, and then they did Hard Times, which was the first Saturday in December. And then the next pay-per-view was this. So, but they said they were going to, but here's the weird thing. They said they were going to add a 5th pay-per-view, but so are they saying that Empower and this match is just going to be a banger. Oh God.
Maybe they're going to do a double, maybe they'll do a double thing at the anniversary show again.
Well, that makes 5 pay-per-views, but they said we'll be adding a 5th show, but I'm thinking you already have 5 shows. As a matter of fact, you have 6 shows technically. If you count.
Well, the Crockett Cup is 2 shows.
Well, it's 1 show, 2 nights. Remember, It's the same brand. Whereas Anniversary Weekend, you actually have 2 shows. You have Empower on Saturday, and you have NWA. So that's 2 shows. And then you have Hard Times, which is 3. This, which is 4. And then whatever the hell they're going to call it in June, which is 5. So
Bunkhouse
the next one 6? What'd you say?
could
Canadian Stampede?
the Bunkhouse Stampede.
Oh, a Bunkhouse Stampede would be great.
But what if you?
Well, I don't know about that because that one pay-per-view they did that was a terrible pay-per-view.
It was not good.
They might have there is a gap because there was a big gap between Hard Times and NWA 73, so they might be able to put one in October to sort of shorten that gap.
Well, the other thing I just thought of too, Doctor, remember that convention we talked about during the summer that they did with the matches? Remember that? That was another
the gathering.
They did that weekend convention. They did a weekend convention.
Yes, they
in
did.
Late July in Charlotte, and it had a Nick and Trevor, and it had I think it was Camille and it was either Kenzie Page or Layla Hirsch. I don't remember which one.
I think it was Paige. It was Paige.
Maybe they'll kind of enhance that and turn it into something this summer. You never know.
It's just, it's so hard because you're just trying to guess what the logic, how they're going to do things. And, sometimes I think it's just spur of the moment.
They shook hands, boys. I think we're going to because, Mark and Jay, they're used to the Ring of Honor thing with the handshakes and the things from Party City that they throw in the ring. Oh, wait, that's New Japan. Never mind. No, that is Ring of Honor. Yeah.
No, Ring of Honor.
So here's a question. Do they really have the Briscoes go to the finals twice in a row on Crockett Cup and lose both times? Because on the last Crockett Cup, they lost to Brody King and
PCO.
Yeah, PCO. So do they have them lose again? Because that would be kind of, I don't know. That'd be interesting booking.
I don't have a problem with the Briscoes winning tonight because, again, they get a title shot, and then Dougie and Harry can say, yeah, but we actually pinned La Rebellion. So that could lead to some very fun tag team booking over the next couple of months, guys.
Really could.
It really could. I mean, you keep these. Look, if there's no ROH, Billy should just keep these guys around. I know they're going to wrestle the match in Dallas. I whatever, but Billy should just see if these guys will want to stick around.
Well, they haven't been booked on AEW because of, I guess, comments they made in the past. I don't know if you guys saw that news story that Warner doesn't want them on their TV because they made inappropriate comments in the past to Briscoes. Mm-hmm. That's why they're doing it at the Ring of Honor, that show there. So moving forward, if they're booking Ring of Honor on a regular basis, and if it's in any way connected whatsoever to that Warner Media or whatever, then chances are Briscoes won't be there, which means keeping them here would make sense.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Their promos would be epic, and put them in the book them over the summer, and get them at NWA 74. Okay, I'll take it.
I don't know. I'm torn. I'm really torn. I mean, I'd be fine with either of these teams winning, to be honest with you. But my heart is set on my British team right here.
I love the British team, but I think they set themselves up for the Briscoes winning the cup because, again, I think it can't be. Now, here's where Billy. This is a good booking thing that Billy can't forget. You don't just have La Rebellion get pinned clean and then forget about it. You don't do that. They've been the alpha dogs in the tag division. They've been tag team champions since the end of August. You can't just forget that they lost clean tonight to a hell of a team. You can't forget that. So if you're listening, Billy, and I know you are because our podcast, and we're just better than those other guys. Remember that semifinal match. Remember
well, we know at least Simon Diamond listens to the show.
Yes, we do.
Because he's the one that put that. He made that beautiful thing come. That 10 pounds of gold video was him. He's the one that did that.
Yes. So, Pat, get well, man. We're praying for you. Cover, please.
And please disregard anything I said on Highway to the Impact Zone about Irish Pat back in the day.
By the way, guys. While we have this minute, while Harry's grinding, who's in the ring? Is that Mark? That's Mark. Don't forget, of course, if you're listening to this Twitch, then you obviously know who we are. We are the PTB Wrestling Network. We are the fans feed. All the great shows here on the network. We've mentioned many of them tonight. NWA Crockett Roll, Highway to the Impact Zone, the NWA Saturday Special, obviously the Place Be Podcast, some of the new shows, PTBM Pedestal, Through the Looking Glass. Just this feed is just loaded with content and analysis and fun and great personalities. Every week we have things drop almost every day. Not every day, almost every day. We don't like overloading it. But we want to give you the best that we can. And we are, of course, part of the great quad of pods, along with the PTB Pop Experience and the Jenny Position, of course, the No-So. So, anyway, there's my plug. We don't have to deal with it. Plug's done. Back to fun.
The match is. I got to plug a couple more. You got YouTube Roulette in that, which is great. You got Chicken Salad in that, and I'm going to plug one because I'll have kind of like a little bit of a Pod Blast series starting here shortly, which I haven't really shared globally, but that'll come out hopefully soon at some point.
We're looking at next month. I know your show.
Yep.
We're going to do.
No, I'm good. No, I'm good. That's perfectly fine.
Yep, we're going to do it in April. We're going to do it in April. So,
Sean,
and we've had some
trying to schedule podcasts, trying to take me off my host seat and Crock and Roll.
I did not schedule anything. I just did a thing on a whim and I sent it to the boss, and we'll see how it goes. I didn't expect it to be scheduled whenever.
You took me off. You took me off the host seat on Crock and Roll. Now you're trying to take Scott off the schedule.
No,
he's like it's like Raven Tim Storm Medusa thing on NWA USA. Who's the managing director?
and Column, don't listen. Maybe I'll have you host all of May since we got to get through 7 episodes of April before we get to that.
Oh my God, it's great. Good match so far, as we anticipated. Nice and snug.
Yep.
Nice and snug. I hope Harry sticks around. I really do.
I hope he does too.
Yeah, and we were talking about last night. He's just been such a vagabond since his first run with the Hart Dynasty. He's just never really been anywhere like significant or like consistent, right? So it'd be nice.
No, he was in that UWN. He was in that UWN
yes,
world title tournament, and then he went back to WWE. During COVID-ish time, and that only kind of half worked out. So, but
this feels right.
Seems
like
him
here, right?
Yeah, it
here,
does feel right.
Feels right. This feels right.
It does feel right. It does. But I'm sure he's not hurting cash wise.
I have someone else that feels right, and it's unlikely. I'm not going to say it's never going to happen because never say never in this industry. But one person that I would love to show up later on. It just feels that this promotion is ready made for him. After the world title match, one Claudio Castagnoli.
Oh. Yeah. And Chris Hero.
Well, Chris Hero, I was after this, if they showed up, that would be wonderful. But if there's a guy if you want to have somebody beat with name value as well, have somebody beat Cardona, then give Cesaro the Bruno treatment as well.
Well, Hero hasn't wrestled since he left. He hasn't. When's the last time he wrestled?
To
Been a
cage
while.
match. To cage match. As I always do when questions like this come up. And I will just find out for you.
I want to make a point while you're doing that, Callum, that my favorite, and Doctor, you were sitting right next to me, my favorite Briscoes moment live ever, I go back to Super Card of Honor at Hammerstein Ballroom in 2013 when Jay beat Kevin Van Steen to become the ROH World Champion, and they were playing his like generic music. And he said, "Nah, man, I got to kick this shit old school." And all of a sudden, they started blasting "Give Me Back My Bullets" by Skinner, and I just lost my shit. It was like one of my favorite live moments, one of my favorite live wrestling moments of my life as a fan. That was so great. Great match. Fun card. That was a fun card, I remember. Super Card of Honor in April of 2013. It was a good show. I enjoyed that.
You're quite right, Sean. The last... Chris Hero hasn't wrestled since pre-COVID.
Yep.
Wow.
His last singles match was against Kenny Williams on an NXT UK show, and then he was involved in a battle royal for the number one contenders that Dragunov won, which led to the first excellent Dragunov Walter match. But
That's what I thought.
That's I could not have told you that. That is so strange. Wow.
But give him and Cesaro back together.
Do it.
That would be fun.
Do it, Billy.
This match is freaking. The Briscoes have really started heating it up, man.
Yeah.
This has been a brilliant match so far.
It has been.
Are we comfortable in saying that the Briscoes are like the ROH equivalent of the Dudleys, pretty much?
Oh, no doubt.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But yeah, no doubt about it. And it could still go.
Yeah.
So just to give some of our wrestlers a background, there have been 4 official Crockett Cup tournaments. This is the 5th one.
Nice superplex.
All 3 of the other ones will fall under these gentlemen's umbrella or parachute, if you will, of NWA Crock and Roll. I feel I shouldn't. Well, it is history. It's not like the statute of limitations run out. But we all know that the previous 3 winners were 3 exemplary tag teams. One of them is an actual tag team. The other 2 were put together guys. So, of course, the 1986 Crockett Cup tournament winner. Should I spoil it?
No, I mean, listen. Go ahead. We already promoted that we were doing the Crockett Cup this month, anyways. But I think everybody knows who won that.
Yeah. So obviously, the 1986 Crockett Cup is unquestionably Dr. G's and my favorite tag team of all time, and that is, of course, Animal and Hawk, the Road Warriors. The 1987 Crockett Cup was won by the Superpowers, Nikita Koloff, and Dusty Rhodes. The 1988 Crockett Cup was won by Sting and Lex Luger. And the 2019 Crockett Cup was, as you guys mentioned earlier, won by Villain Enterprises of Brody King and PCO. And then we didn't have one again. I'm curious who would have won in 2020. I feel like
don't even
that
remember
moment,
did they even announce who was in that at that point?
Yeah,
I know we were getting Aldis and I know we were getting Aldis and
no, we
Marty
were getting
again.
Aldis and Marty. We were getting Aldis and Marty. Remember, it was going to be the
yes,
it was going to be the
$500,000. It was like
the $500,000. Let me see. The official is the card here still. So here were the teams. There was only 2. There were only at the time there were only 4 teams announced. Mexa Squad, which was Flamita and Ray Horace.
Oh wow.
The Rock and Roll Express. Brody King and Flip Gordon, and Latimer and Royce Isaacs, the wild cards. That was it.
That was pretty decent teams there.
The wild card battle royal participants were Tim Storm, Ricky Starks, and Zicky Dice. And then the only 2 matches that were announced was Nick versus Marty, $500,000 versus the belt. And then Aaron Stevens was going to defend the national title against Trevor. That's what the 2020 Crockett Cup was. So
okay.
So it wasn't totally put together yet before everything hit the shitter.
These guys.
It was supposed.
Sorry, Scott.
Yeah. No. Let's get back to this.
Jesus.
This is killer. This is fucking amazing.
This is my match of the night, by the way. Now. Sorry.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh,
In terms of psychology, that women's match was awesome. But just watch. Oh shit!
Oh.
Wait.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Jesus.
That was
Man,
that was almost the chaos theory you were looking for. Sean.
I almost jumped out of my seat. I love.
Wow.
I'm a self-proclaimed chaos theory mark. I was just waiting for it.
oh,
I did like the top row power slam in the other match. So
these guys are putting on a good show here.
They are, man. This
Oh.
is like amazing. Tag team wrestling at its finest,
The
right
Briscoes are phenomenal.
here. Damn it, they sure are.
One,
Hey,
two.
Oh, damn it.
This might be it.
Oh. Frog splash elbow. It's it. It's got to be. Yep. That's it.
Yep. So there we go.
Listen.
Wow.
It makes sense. I mean,
It wasn't that hard to pick. I couldn't say.
I thought they would have pulled. I thought they would have pulled a swerve on us a little bit to give, But that's great. Good for them. Excellent match.
But I'm telling you guys, and let's be honest, guys. This is a big watershed moment for the Briscoes as a tag team in their careers. I mean, all those ROH World Tag Team titles, headlining all those shows all over, wrestling in Japan, blah, blah. And this is a team. The Dudleys never won the Crockett Cup. The Hardys never won the Crockett Cup. This is a major resume line for a team like these guys. They've earned this,
They did.
And this is a big moment for them. But again, Dougie and Harry, they pinned the champs.
Yeah. So in 2 nights, I got one chaos theory. I'm a little disappointed, Colin. One night, just one.
I'm sure. Well, they're taping. They're taping about 19 weeks worth of TV. I'm thinking there'll be 19 chaos theories for you the next couple of days, Sean.
I mean,
Sure it'll keep you happy.
That
Wow.
was
Awesome.
we were wondering if the Briscoes were going to win it, though. I think I wound up going with La Rebellion because I figured that they were the NWA team, but I'm not upset by this at all.
But you know what's great about this? This adds like a bit of prestige to the actual being the cup because this is a consistent tag team that's been around for over a decade. That it just adds credibility to this, and I love that.
I agree 100%. This is legit.
Next to the Road Warriors, this is the most legit tag team we've had win this, and I think that's awesome.
Yep.
But they can also play it off that teams from all over, not just the NWA, want to come and win the Crockett Cup. So this is that the Briscoes are obviously they're ROH through and through up till recently, and then they might still be, but they'll come from Ring of Honor because they want to win the Crockett Cup because it's got that prestige about it.
Briscoe's having an underrated run. The Ring of Honor tag champs. They were in GCW. They're facing FTR and the Good Brothers WrestleMania weekend, and now they won the Crockett Cup. So I think people are underestimating how great the Briscoes are actually.
Do you see them at the tapings, guys?
I will at Impact. I'll see them.
No, I'm saying, do you see them being at the tapings for NWA?
Yes.
I think so.
yes.
Yeah, they're already booked because if you look at the promo pictures, they're in the background. So I would assume they're good. They have to be. They won the cup. They're not just going to disappear after winning the cup. So.
And they do look genuinely
happy. Yeah.
Happy that they've won, yeah. Oh, that was amazing. That was outstanding.
Now we're going to get a little recap, of course, of our final
Do
match.
we see Trevor making an appearance here?
Oh man, well
in the match.
Sean will lose his goddamn mind if he lost fucking out this the match.
If you want to hear my headset be thrown across the room.
No, I mean, he being, part of the, the match decision, meaning.
I mean, based on his promo earlier, I could probably see that happen. I mean,
so here is their. Oh, now we're going to look at some of our boys here, and then these fucking scrubs, except Nick.
Hey, Colin, did you see Wahoo? they just showed the Ric Flair Wahoo match that he hated in the promo.
That's
great.
Right. If that is what's going to define Matt Cardona's, that should no. Okay, if they are comparing Matt Cardona's heavyweight championship run with a Wahoo match, then get the belt off him just now.
Hey, it was actually the Wahoo match from Houston. You said it was that was the one that wasn't that bad, so it wasn't the one you hate.
Wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that good.
Go to the bathroom.
I was actually going for a refreshment break. Thanks for breaking the fourth wall on the Twitch. God's sake.
So here's while we're getting this build, here's the Briscoes resume. I mean, they've won the Combat Zone Wrestling Tag titles twice. They had Match of the Year in 2012 in Extreme Rising. They were the Full Impact Pro Tag Team Champs, Game Changer Wrestling Tag Team Champs, House of Glory Tag Team Champs, the Jersey Championship Wrestling. Oh, that was just Mark. One-time IWGP Tag titles. They were twice. They won the 6-man tag titles, the never open weight. The NWA Wild Side Tag Team titles. Pro Wrestling Noah Tag Team titles. Pro Wrestling Unplugged Tag Team titles. The Real Championship Wrestling Tag Team titles once. And 12-time ROH Tag Team Champions. Tag Team of the Decade. Tag Team of the Year in 2019. Of course, they're also in the ROH Hall of Fame. And they were the Observer Tag Team of the Year in 2007. They go down as one of the greatest tag teams of all time. No doubt about it. Lock it up. And I think tonight they qualified that tonight.
Yeah,
by getting
that was a cool moment. That was very cool. Very cool.
Here's an interesting. This is such a WWE thing. Oh, what is this? Oh, is this you, Callum? Was that you playing? Oh, your video game almost got on the. I wish that was you. Listen to this story quickly. On November 24th, 2009, the Briscoe brothers had a tryout for WWE at their SmackDown and ECW tapings. The following month, look at that hair. That's like 2003 Jeff Jarrett hair right there. That's lush.
Ain't he great?
Ain't he great?
Look at him, man. He's still pretty jacked, too, man. Check him out.
JEFF, JARRETT.
So he might be he might be the wild card tonight too.
This is huge. It's big to have him as the ref, I have to say.
Well, it's like a coming home party for him, man, because Tennessee and the first
this building.
Yeah, this building's big for him.
Crazy.
That is some hair, Scott.
It's luscious, man. As where we are in our main event. I don't know where you guys are. Where you guys? You're guys in what? Early 06, I think, right? On Highway to the Impact Zone.
No, we're actually just we just got done with. We're still in June. We're getting ready to go to July 05.
Okay. That's right. The show started in 04. I started in 05. That's right. There we go.
You notice that Billy always brings in a legend for all the pay-per-views.
Yes.
I think you're always going to see that.
When's he bringing in Ron Garvin?
Hey, don't be surprised. You never know.
Oh my God, that stupid orange Santa guy. Aldis has big Nick energy. Good Lord. That's a sick fuck.
That guy was there last night too.
Yeah, he's at every show. He's kind of like a hat guy in ECW or Vladimir. I feel like when the match is at its biggest, Nick always wears red. I feel like he always wears red when the match is at its biggest.
So what's everybody's prediction?
Oh God, this one's tough.
I have no idea.
I am okay with either one. But you all know how I feel about Nick. I don't know. I have no call on this one whatsoever.
I don't think, unless Cardona is planning on just not really being in the NWA anymore. I can't see him losing the belt right now. This fast.
It seems like Impact is his steady home at this point. He's been there for a while. He holds one of their titles. So GCW, he went in and won one of their titles, and then he lost it like at the very next show. So I'm on the fence. I'm not even going to guesstimate. We'll see what happens. But it's definitely piquing my interest for sure. But this is a much better world title match for me than anything that the NWA has done since it came back to their regular shows after the pandemic. So,
ooh, nice robe.
Because he's been feuding with Murdoch the whole time since they got back from COVID, and now, oh yeah, look at that! That's an amazing robe.
That's gorgeous.
That's Ric Flair worthy right there.
Oh, no doubt.
And this is where I was saying. This is what I was saying to you earlier.
I love the back. Look at the back of that robe, gents. That is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that's Crock and Roll worthy right there.
That's Trevor Murdoch, by the way. That's Matt Cardona.
That's right. I don't think Trevor could fit in that robe. The robe would probably be the glue would be coming off the things. Now, see, Dr. G, this is where a show like an aesthetic with the screen and the smoke and the ramp. This is where Billy, I think, finally has gotten the aesthetic down of a big match feel.
It does.
You know what I mean? Look at this. Look at him.
No
He's
doubt.
jacketed. He's jacketed Velvet's face. This is fucking great.
Oh, they didn't keep Crockett or Pope on the call. I'm shocked.
Well, then immediately our commentary is better. So,
well, yeah, but and he's got no Chelsea out with him either. By himself.
What's that guy gonna do? Big goof.
Dude, look at that! Look at that face! Holy cow!
Yeah, such a good heel.
Wow, he really is a great heel.
He looks, guys, like a world champion.
He does.
That's a world champion right there. You have two guys right now that look like world champions. And
you can't deny we've missed a lot of that in the NWA. We've missed a lot of that at the world title picture, and this is really good to see.
Yep.
I mean, when's the last big time NWA title match feel you had? It's when he faced Cody. That is the last time he was on that big stage at All In.
It's true. We haven't seen many great opponents for Aldis when he was champion, and then Trevor, the build up to Trevor being the champion, and then we kind of were a little bored with that. So I think this is. I agree with you, Sean. I think this is the best we've seen since Cody.
Belt looks good on him too. The Trevor, you know what? I will give this. The Trevor story was a good intermediate. Hey, welcome back, fans storyline. I thought that was that. I get that 100%.
The whole thing tracing back to Harley Race and all that.
Yeah, I mean that really made sense for their comeback. Now it's time to evolve, and this has evolved the world title picture, which is. I guess the question for me is, can they maintain it past this? Because getting Cardona was a stroke of genius at the time because he's super hot.
Right.
Can they maintain it is my question.
See, I think even if all this when he becomes champion again, if and when, I think it's more when, he's better as a heel. I think I like heel champions better. I like the booking of a heel champion.
Well, let's go back to 1989, Ric Flair. Okay, how long? So it's say June, July, August, September, October, November, December. He was a face for exactly 8 months, and then he went back to being a heel in that 89 when he went back into 1990. Mm-hmm. So,
but that feud with Terry was so fucking good.
It really was. But he
ran the feud was so good.
It was. And plug. We covered that match on Pedestal, by the way. But just plug it out there. But if they do something similar with Aldis now, hey, he wins the title back from the big heel, and then. But it looks like they're going to turn. I don't know. It looks like they're going to turn Trevor heel. So who knows? But this is the most interest I've had in the world title picture in a long, long time. Long time.
Agreed.
That belt's awfully gold tonight. I will say the titles have looked absolutely fantastic tonight.
The light is making every belt look like something amazing.
Yeah. I'm actually looking at my Sweet Charlotte up on my shelf, and it could use a little gold shine to it based on what
I'm looking at it. Yep, I'm looking at me too. I'm looking at my Sweet Charlotte as well.
Looking a little faded. It needs a little gold in it.
Look at how that looks. See, Dr. G, is that a world championship belt right there?
It is.
Honestly, I'm looking. You want to know what the shiniest belts in my room are? The world 6-man tag team title is the shiniest belt that I'm looking at right now.
That was barely ever showed on TV.
I know, but it's like the gold. It's like just popping big time. Well, part of it's because of the size. The belt's like freaking ginormous. But
yeah, I think the goldest belt I have is the Winged Eagle. Shines pretty good. My IC belt shines pretty good too.
I will tell you the old I Quit Match US title has a nice little silver sheen to it.
That's probably my next belt is that US belt. I love that belt. The one that I saw in
yes.
The one that I saw in was it Rack and Roll or whatever the name of that bar in Atlanta was. The one that Nikita smacked over fucking Luger's head.
Yes.
Love that belt.
The Mid-Atlantic title I have looks like kindergartners designed it. Anyway.
I mean, I didn't mind the big blocky belt, but the one that was traded off between Sam
the one
Houston
at Sam Houston, yeah, that was nice.
The one that our boy Ronnie Garvin. And notice I said our boy Sean.
Yes,
boy Ronnie Garvin. I told you I gained a whole new respect for Ronnie, for Hands of Stone while I've been watching my Chrono Watch and when Justin and I did the 85 to 92 run on Place to Be podcast.
Yeah.
I love him in ring. His promos.
Could you imagine if he was a great promo guy? Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
And it gives you bigger appreciation for his Valentine matches when he was in the WWF. Starting off, that was been really good right out of the gate.
That was great when Cardona did the drop kick and fucking Nick just walked away like, yeah, whatever.
That's a total champion move right there. Aldis Gold.
Yep. Having Jeff Jarrett as a special guest referee is not bad because he was a referee when he first started in the business. So he has a good idea of what to do in the ring. It doesn't look awkward like some guest referees. They seem out of place. You notice it. Whereas if you don't notice the referee, that means they're doing a good job. But if you notice them, you know that they're not doing a good job.
Look at the flicking off Storm.
That's awesome. Is he honoring Scott Hall tonight with the razor blade elbow pad?
He might be. Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
he put it on Twitter earlier on.
Uh-oh. Who's walking up? David Crockett? Is he gonna walk up?
Wait.
Oh, is he grabbing his belt and walking away? Oh,
what is Jeff Jarrett going to say that he'll lose the title if he gets counted out?
It looks that way. I mean, that is some big shit heel stuff right there. Walking out, that's good.
Yep. Slap nuts.
Amen.
Bet your ass.
Love it.
Jeff's definitely been the most engaged of all the,
yes,
the legends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Mick Foley one was just so. Oh, there you go, Tim. The Mick Foley one was so glad-handedly bad.
Are they going to have Cardona and him feud? I mean, that would be interesting.
Hey, well,
If Cardona needs, let's put it this way: if Cardona needs kind of a holdover opponent for maybe the June pay-per-view,
Sure,
him and Tim,
why not?
Tim Storm defending the honor of the NWA, I could see it.
Yeah.
Because as we discussed last night, Sean, Tim Storm just as important to the NWA as Ric Flair and Lou Thesz.
Yeah, that was a nice little conversation because he got me to buy in on it. I don't dislike Tim Storm. I really like Tim Storm. So
Tim Storm, I like Tim Storm, but I gained a new respect for him at NWA 73 where he, when they had that street fight and he's thrown himself off a ladder through tables and having to go and then teach maths the next day.
I remember that match because we all pot big because we weren't expecting how good that match was.
So can we say, guys, honestly, since we've started doing the Place to Be Nation Twitch feeds back 1 year ago at Back for the Attack, has tonight, not the whole show, but has tonight been the best night of wrestling we've watched?
Oh, I've thoroughly enjoyed both nights, but tonight has been great. But this was the Crockett Cup that I've wanted, and I was happy. And even though some of the tag teams weren't like super well known, even the ones that weren't well known put on a great show. And even some of the teams that were put together just from the regular power shows did great. Like Rocket and freaking what's his
Jordan
name?
Clearwater.
I mean,
Jordan Clearwater.
They did they shined in this. So I just think everybody brought it, and this is the NWA. Like we even said it on the. I thought this anniversary show was great. I thought the Power show was great. But this Crockett Cup for me, this is what I've ultimately always wanted since the NWA returned. So I have absolutely loved every minute of it.
Same here.
Yeah. Yeah, tonight
and this is
like,
a pretty good match here, guys. They're fighting outside. This is
hell yeah, this is great.
They're brawling on the stage. This tonight feels like a 1 year culmination from the beginning of getting out of COVID till now. I feel like I agree with you. I feel this is what we were supposed to get with him and Marty 2 years ago.
Yep. I really wish they could figure out a way to maintain that heat on their television. Like, I wish they could take what we get, like their pay-per-views are so good. I would love to see us get that on TV in terms of how we can maintain that, because I look forward to every single pay-per-view, every single one.
It's inconsistent because there's some powers you're like, wow, this thing's really hot, and then the next week it's like a dud. It's
I wish we could maintain the crowd. They need the crowd. I want the crowd.
Yeah.
The crowd would make it better.
Yeah, the powers leading up to that Crockett Cup 2 years ago, those powers were awesome.
Yes.
But enough's enough with the fucking. I mean, the state of Georgia's got to lift this COVID bullshit, because we can't. We can't keep having these hot crowds at these pay-per-views, and then we have 45 people at Power. It's not going to fly.
Yes.
You need crowd energy. You need the energy. You can't just go out there, cut promos, and have matches, and have just kind of like,
Now they're going to do recordings for the
next 3 days. Yeah, the next couple of days.
No, different building.
Oh, they are doing a different building.
Yeah, no, they're not doing it in here. They're doing it somewhere else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because they rolled a promo. I want to say it was the last Power, and they were promoting tickets for the Power taping and NWA USA, and I don't think it was here. Well,
which
we'll find
means
out
they
Tuesday.
must be going somewhere smaller.
Yeah, and they're staying in Nashville.
They are doing, according to NWATix.com, tomorrow and Tuesday is Power tapings and Wednesday is NWA USA tapings at Skyway Studios, which is where Impact.
Yes.
Yeah, where Impact is. Yep. Oh, that might be a fun little building to do. See, now if they let some people in there, that might be a fun little building to do shows.
No, that Impact building. So Impact goes on the road now. So they're, they still tape there sometimes, don't they, Callum?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you could get a respectable crowd inside that building. What? If they can have a full crowd for all those tapings, that could be one of their best set of tapings if they could pull it off.
I agree. I agree.
I think if you get, because as we saw after the NWA 73, and I don't think it's any coincidence that the Hard Times might not have has been one of the sort of, none of the shows have been bad since they came back, but that's been on the lower end of the quality. I think because they had such a sparse crowd. But see if you can get a good couple hundred people in Skyway Studios into a smaller building, and they're hot for the whole thing, it would make such a difference.
I agree.
So instead of having a
remember
half full,
the original Power tapings before the pandemic, even though there was maybe like 145, 150 people in there, it just had a lot of energy. And if they could get that in these Power tapings coming up, and the storylines being good, we could actually be in for some good wrestling. But
you would have a better, as you said, Dr. G, a better energy and just a better all round feeling if you have a smaller crowd but the building's full, as opposed to what they had for some of the powers after NWA 73, where they've got more people but it's in a half full Chase ballroom.
Those St. Louis tapings were brutal to watch. Brutal.
they were. I
And they
agree.
would
I will
just
tell you, though.
and then they mishmashed matches into all these different shows. One minute you're wrestling in front of the janitor, the next minute there's 2,000 people there, the next minute it's empty, the next minute somebody's eating and catering. Like, it was a fucking mess. It really was.
Well, I will tell you, I remember we talked about how we thought the pay-per-views for the Chase looked good. I think visually this looks so much better than even the Chase in terms of the crowd they have. It looks like a real like pay-per-view.
Yeah.
They're
I
not
agree.
sitting in a ballroom in a hotel with like lounge chairs. This looks like legit.
Yeah.
So.
I agree 100%. This
match, guys, is not bad. I mean, it's a lot of back and forth here.
Fantastic.
Man, is it me or Jarrett just looks amazing? He's in good shape. That fucking hair is amazing. The fucking handlebar. He's just so Nashville.
Yeah, he just wrestled. He just wrestled on a GCW. He's still wrestling, by the way.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. He wrestled
in GCW. Yep.
Did they not wrestle? I could be wrong here. Was it Joey Janela? Ben will be able to tell if Ben's still in the chat, because he was on the GCW show.
He won the match. I watched it. I don't remember it.
Effie, was it Effie?
Yes, it was Effie. He beat Effie, who's like a big, huge star in the GCW. So he won that match. But he looks in great shape. Not following the diet of his pal Conrad, so that's good.
What happened to him in WWE though? All of a sudden, it just seemed like he was gone.
He was.
Who's that?
Just Jarrett. He's an agent.
Oh.
Yeah, he just left quietly during COVID.
I think he was one of the people that get furloughed during COVID and just never came back.
I will tell you, the look he has, he looks a lot like his dad in the old Memphis territory. His dad had that little mustache and the same hair. He looks just like his dad.
It's true.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
But again, nice hair for his age. Looking good.
Yep.
I mean, you got to look good for Karen. Karen's not going to put up with any less.
No. Considering her ex-husband had no hair, so
the very
has no
first,
hair now.
The very first WrestleMania, where I actually met a lot of the PTBN contingent in Orlando, the very first show I went to in Orlando was my first Mania, was a Pritchard Conrad show, and it was Jarrett and Karen Angle were there, and Karen was drunk, so freaking drunk that she was embarrassing that Jarrett had to keep pulling her off the stage. It's pretty great.
Oh my God.
Pretty
That's
great.
Really? And he's the one that had the problems with the drinking.
Yeah, Karen was, and that was also like a few short months. That was also the year where JR's wife had just passed away not long before, so he was there. So it was really, like, for me as a wrestling fan, that was just like that first WrestleMania and going to all those things in Orlando was like just a big, big thing for me. It was great. Ooh.
Jay Cosworth is saying that apparently Jarrett was at a WWE show last night, so he's obviously still on good terms with them.
Yep. They were in Tennessee last night, right?
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah, I think so.
He became a semi-regular at ICW before the pandemic, which is very strange. I'm sure he was meant to have a match with Grado before before the pandemic hit, and then he's just never been back. I wouldn't.
Ooh. Man, these guys are just beating the shit out. This is fantastic.
Oof.
Good. The forearms are freaking ridiculous.
Yeah. Nice clotheslines. Everything's been crisp.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the best I've seen all this look in a long time. Long time.
Because he's got a good opponent.
A good opponent. Yeah.
Yes. By the way,
you know who was a good opponent? Before you say that, Sean, you know who was a good opponent early on for him? James Storm.
Yes.
They had some good brawls, beating the shit out of each other.
Actually, him and Ricky Morton had a pretty damn good banger too.
Yes.
One of
that was a good banger on Power. Yeah.
Ricky could still go for his age. It's amazing.
Well, we made the comment last night that we were surprised that either the Rock and Roll or Kerry and Ricky weren't on the tag team thing, and then we found out the Rock and Roll Express had a match against who was it? What's their name? Bear who from AEW?
Bear Country.
Yeah, Beer Cut. So Rock and Roll Express had a match. I guess it was one of their retirement tour matches. So that's probably why they weren't in the cup.
Gotcha.
I can imagine Beer Country were high on the list of the retirement tour opponents.
Sure. Well, they already had FTR, so.
No, Jeff Jarrett's only 54. I mean.
So do you think we could get? Do you think Jeff Jarrett could do it? I mean, I'd probably not. He's probably too big, but I'd love to see him maybe do the 4-month run here in the NWA. That'd be kind of cool.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah. I mean, why not? That's the great thing about the NWA. I guess that is a benefit.
Tim Storm's almost 60, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's one of the benefits of how they tape is if you get somebody in for just those 3 tapings, you got them at least for a good 4 months, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess that is one benefit. But I am not shocked, but I am pleasantly surprised how good this match has been.
Now that's funny. Cardona's trying to break the hold. He got to the rope, and Jeff Jarrett was trying to get his hands off the rope so Aldis could keep him in the move. I think that was fucking great.
Well, it's very clear that Jarrett's calling him down the middle. So
I'd be quite happy for an
unprettier.
Talking about a Tim Storm match for a pay-per-view. I'd be quite happy with Cardona against Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah. Oh, how great. Hey, what if this is this fantasy booking? It would never happen. How funny would it be if Aldis won the title and then Jarrett challenged him and then Aldis turned around and said, well, you're not a top contender, and they pulled the old Funk angle.
And then Jarrett apologized on the table?
The thought just crossed my head. I won't lie. I would 100% pop for that.
That would
anyway. It'd be absolutely ridiculous, but I would be here for it.
I wouldn't even care. Just do it. Just fucking do it. I would not even care.
Oh, here we go. We're getting into the home stretch here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. We're almost at 11 o'clock, man. This pay-per-view has flown by.
Oh, it has.
Wow. Oh, my gosh. Well.
Oh, he got it.
Oh.
You guys are ahead of me.
Oh.
Oh.
No, don't say anything. I'm still behind, guys. Don't say anything.
Oh. Wow. Almost.
Wow.
Oh, this is crazy.
Wow. They have worked their ass off in this match.
Yeah, there's zero doubt this is his best title match since Cody. 100%.
Oh,
yeah, no doubt about it.
I'll just have
By the way, that match was 6 years ago. That was. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, Jarrett's grabbing the belt.
Oh no!
Dick was not.
Yeah, don't say anything, guys. We're behind.
Nope.
He's calling it.
Every time we get to a moment that Sean can't talk about, let's do plugs. Let's talk about Pedestal right now. And
or you could be Column and just like do what he did on the last pay-per-view and tell me who won before I saw the end because he knew I'd be angry.
Oh man.
I just love all the verbals. That's great.
God. Holy shit. I thought that was it. We'll see what we mean, Sean.
Oh yeah, no, I'm right there. I'm right there.
Holy shit, I thought that was it.
Yeah, I got to figure out my internet's slower than you guys. It's starting to make me angry. It does this every NWA pay-per-view.
Oh,
Colin loves it. He absolutely loves it.
I think I'm in line with you just now, Sean.
This has been the most fun title match I've watched in I couldn't tell you how long.
Oh, wow. Wow. I know I might be ahead of you guys.
Oof.
Yeah, you are.
Oof.
I think I'm even with you, G. While you're watching it off my thing, so we're probably the same thing.
Imagine hitting that concrete floor. Has to hurt. That has to hurt.
Here we go.
Pardon.
Oh, yeah, here we go. We knew this was inevitable.
Everyone who's joined the stream in the last 5 minutes have just come into us just going, oh. Not actually. Because we're just getting thrown right into it.
It sounds like Jacob Williams on pods when he gets uncomfortable with something you say.
Oh, here you go. Yes, here you go, Shawnee. You can pop now.
Now it's getting all out of control now.
Oh, here we go. That's what I was waiting for. That's it right there. Oh, we're going to get a 6-man banger out of this, I bet.
Chaos
this is delicious.
Oh, I love this.
I think Harry's hanging around, Shawnee. I think Harry's hanging around.
It looks that way. You know what? Don't reform Strictly Business. I'm okay with this too. British Invasion or whatever they want to call them. But I'm okay.
Oh, there goes Jarrett.
I do like that VSK's T-shirt is that asshole shitty Islanders logo. That's pretty great.
Who was this?
Oh, Jarrett still throws a hell of a good punch.
Chelsea.
Oh.
Hey, by the way, Mike Knox has not really been bad in this run, to be perfectly honest.
He's served his purpose. Oh, is Camille going to come out?
Oh my gosh, look at this.
No, James, maybe?
It's Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey. Yep.
There you go. You hit the nail on the head, Sean. They're crossing promotions now.
I knew that was going to happen. Yep. Yeah, because they're feuding an Impact after. Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Fantastic. God, she's so hot.
Here we go. So that's an 8-man tag there. I think there's only 2 words.
Is he tapping?
Oh, what? No way. No way.
Oh.
No way.
Oh no.
Yep.
Wow.
He's tapping. Jarrett's holding his nuts. Oh, is it over? He tapped. It's over.
Is he going to do that, or is he going to call it DQ?
Is it going to be a DQ?
He's going to call it DQ.
Oh,
he's going to call it DQ because
it's the dusty finish.
You got it.
This is everything I could have hoped for. It's a dust. Hey, by the way, guys, I just got a like on my tweet from Mr. Harry Smith. How did he do that? How did he do that? He's in the ring.
No, he brought it to the back. He waited and said, "I gotta get this Crockett guy."
He walked through the curtain and just liked my tweet. That is the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. Right in mid brawl. Harry Smith just broke kayfabe live on our Twitch stream. That's great.
So Jarrett, no, he cut it down the middle. So it looks like Nick won the match by disqualification because
oh no, Harry Smith retweeted my tweet, guys. He retweeted it.
So wait a minute. So
because Mickey was in the ring, he thinks Mickey was the one to give him the low blow.
You know what, guys? This is a classic NWA.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, this is the shit we give Tommy Young bullshit for, but you know what, guys? This 100% worked. This is like absolute Crockett freaking match. This is awesome what they just did. Awesome.
Yep. I got no problems with this ending.
Absolutely fantastic.
Next pay-per-view, I want Cardona, Knox, VSK, and Chelsea against the Commonwealth Connection and Mickey War Games. Do it. Book it, Billy. Oh, sorry.
I think Billy could afford. I don't think Billy could afford one cage. You want him to have 2 cages?
Sorry.
This is going to be interesting. The tapings are going to be very interesting.
Yeah,
they are, but they got to drag this out to the next paper. They got to figure out a way to drag this to the next show, the next big show.
Yeah,
they do, and they need to really make it the focus. I want to start seeing the world title be the focus. I mean, you don't have to have them on every single week, but you need to be pumping up the world championship every show. That's just my opinion. Yeah.
No, you have to. You have to. And that's where I was not happy with not happy when Trevor was champion, because Trevor would only be on like every 5 shows. It was, and we're off the air. Guys, I got to be honest. This was a fantastic weekend of wrestling. Billy, we sit here and we gripe, and the TV shows are a little shaky, but these last 2 days has been a culmination.
But guys,
of
what
one
wrestling
year.
show these days is great, really, if you think about it. So I mean, they're not doing anything different from the other.
This was fantastic. This was absolutely fantastic.
It was
top to bottom, great wrestling, and I never thought I'd say that. Harry Smith.
Scott, real quick, I just have to say it.
Yeah.
Doug Williams also just liked my tweet going through the curtain.
Oh God, we gotta get those guys on.
Oh,
no, we
God,
gotta
get them on the Saturday special.
We gotta get them on the Saturdays, but we gotta work on that. We gotta get
great.
we gotta get the Commonwealth connection on the NWA Saturday special. We gotta get them on, not Snotty Nose and the Doofuses, but this show, the NWA Saturday special, the preeminent NWA show in the world right now. Callum, awesome job as always, quarterbacking us and taking care of these 3 giant egos.
Thank you, Callum.
Pleasure as always.
You did a great job tonight.
Yeah,
you did a great job. Shawnee, great job. Thank you this weekend. 2 great days of exemplary commentary, Lance Cade aside. Although Jeff Jarrett kind of looked like he had Lance Cade's hair, so that was pretty good.
I mean, listen, I'm allowed one inappropriate comment on 2 nights of shows. I think I did okay.
Yeah. Doctor, well, you're the doctor. So everybody, thank you for listening. Again, you can follow us all on our Twitters and all our other things. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., bright and early to start your week, will be the NWA Crockett Cup reaction special. So join whoever. I don't know who will be jumping on. At least G will be with me. And maybe these guys if they want to stick around. So join us 9 a.m. right here on the PTB Wrestling Network feed for the Crockett Cup reaction special. Callum, take us home.
Absolutely, I absolutely will. I just want to add in Ben's name as well. So thank you, Ben, who joined us yesterday. An NWA newbie who has stuck around for the 2 days. He's been in the chat. So thank you very much, Ben. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you'll stick around for the NWA as well. So thank you guys for joining us once again for a fantastic couple of days of wrestling. I know Scott and Dr. G, you missed it last night. You were missed last night, but another excellent live watch. Thank you everyone who's watched and who's been in the chat, and to our new subscribers as well. Did they mention what the next pay-per-view for the NWA is going to be? No, are we just going to be waiting on the taping for that to see when they're next going to be on pay-per-view?
I don't think they've announced it. They haven't announced it yet.
So we're assuming it's going to be June time, as it was for When Our Shadows Fall. But we will be back. Keep an eye on the socials for that. We'll be back doing it as ever. So thank you everyone for watching. If you want to go back, if you missed anything, joined us late, and you want to go back to listen to our thoughts on yesterday or on a part of the show that you missed, the whole of these live watches will be on, as well as the rest of our NWA live watches will be on our YouTube page. Just search Place to Be Nation, all one word, on YouTube, and you'll find the archives there. But again, just thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.